What is up? All right, let's do this.
Well, hello.
Why, hello. Oh, where's that audio coming from?
Is that me?
Might be me.
I think it was me.
All right. Here we go. And... Yo, and hello and welcome to Game Speak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning HD, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. We are streaming live every Monday at 7:50 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast, facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast. If you want to catch the show as it happens before anyone else, be sure to go ahead and join our ever-growing community in the GameSpeak Podcast Discord at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games, battle and catch Pokemon, get show updates, find friends to play games with, and so much more. This show is three BFFs bringing you the hottest video game news of the week. I'm one of your hosts, Jamel Al-Jafra, alongside Brent Bass and Devin Mayer. Ooh. What is up, boys?
Well, hello, boys. How goes it?
It's the whole podcast.
Just whale noises coming from my side of the fence.
Yeah.
I didn't know you spoke well.
Yeah.
You're so talented, Brent.
Yeah, it's one of my many talents.
Yeah, vocal talents. So what you guys been up to this week?
Just practicing my whale, hanging out, working, not doing much. I feel like I did something. Hold up. It's probably written down.
Yeah,
I did a little bit, but not, I went to Canyon Lake this weekend, hung out with family, and
that's quite a bit.
Bullshitted around that town.
You know what I did this
Canyon
week?
Lake's cool.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I
Good.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
Canyon Lake's cool and all, but you
What?
want to know what
But
I
you know
did?
what I did? Yeah.
What is Canyon? I'm
Brent-
sorry. I'm
what
so
did-
sorry. Let me
No,
get
you're
back
good,
to
you're
the
good.
Canyon Lake thing.
What did you do, Brent?
No, wait. Hold up.
Canyon Lake.
What happened at Canyon Lake again? I'm sorry.
No, I just hung out with family. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
What is Canyon Lake?
It's like in
It's a
Austin,
town.
right?
Is
It's
it a
near
lake?
Austin.
No, it's
it a
Canyon
canyon?
Lake is like just west of New Braunfels and San Marcos, kind of. It's a beautiful lake that's like filled up by the Guadalupe River, so it's like super like jade and clearish.
Okay.
Really nice water.
Doesn't New Braunfels do like something for Halloween? Like they do like some fest.
October? You're thinking of Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest.
Yeah, they have
dude.
a pretty big Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
Lots
that's
of
what the
food
theme
and-
was at Renaissance Festival the other week when I went.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, the first weekend. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody
so-
was all Octobered out. No, I was going to say I cried my eyes out because Hagrid died.
Dude,
dude,
I was
that is
sad.
sad.
I didn't cry, but yeah, I was sad. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Cole. What was
I
it?
think his name is
Coltrane?
Robbie Coltrane or something.
Yeah, something about Coltrane, which sounds really cool.
Really badass name. Really badass guy. You
Yeah.
know? Super sad stuff.
But yeah, R.I.P. to Hagrid, man. He portrayed that character so fucking
He was
well.
great.
Like,
Yeah.
And getting to grow up with that character was just even better.
Yeah.
How are they gonna do anything Harry Potter ever again? It just like without Hagrid. You know what I'm saying?
They can't. You can't do it.
You can't do it. They have to stop now. Like if they have any plans for making any future like Harry Potter return movies or anything, it's not happening.
If they recast him.
No,
Not
they're
my
gonna
Hagrid.
have like the hologram of Hagrid. He's gonna be like the ghost of
God.
Hagrid. He's just gonna be waving at Harry at the end of the movie.
Like in Star Wars.
it's gonna be like a little Easter egg, you know.
AI Hagrid.
They'll be like they'll have something in the movie where they're like, oh, Hagrid was, killed doing what he loved with a what are those things called? The little griffin.
The hippogriff.
The hippogriff like fucking impaled him and it was great. And then he was fed to his spider.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
And he was fed to his spider.
Yeah.
He need some sort of magical stingray to get him. So he's basically a magical Steve Irwin.
He's
you know?
definitely a magical Steve Irwin. For sure. But yeah, that is a sad moment in Harry Potter history. It just happened. Yeah. So Camp Crystal Lake over here.
Dude, you know what I saw the other day?
What's that?
They have PS5s again at GameStop. It's becoming
Yeah,
a thing.
it's becoming common.
Yeah.
It's because people have no money. So
Well,
nobody's buying them up and holding them
I
down.
think
sure
we're
they
starting to get
increased-
over the hump here. I really think we're like on the other side of the hill.
Are we talking about the economy?
No, just,
I was like-
the supply.
the availability
Yeah.
of like microchips. I
I
guess.
was like, I
don't
think
know.
it's only gonna get worse.
No,
Well-
the economy's got.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's on fire.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a bunch of different factors, but I think also, I mean, we're getting into the holiday season. Like everybody's,
Yeah.
I'm sure
They're
they
ramping
increased
up production
Yeah,
and
I'm sure
stuff
they increased units
as
and
much as
everything.
they can, but it definitely seems more available than last year. You know what I mean?
Oh
So-
yeah, for sure.
or,
They
you
were
know,
just
and
none.
and the same on the graphics cards front. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's another thing that's like not going out of style like the fucking PlayStations. Like people are still are always going to be in demand for graphics cards. So it's a good way to like measure what's in stock and what's not in stock. Like you can actually buy fucking basically any graphics card you want now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, chips are returning, so the world is healing.
Yeah.
Let's not look at all the rest of the bad shit.
Have you seen the
war and everything.
benchmarks on those 4090s, dude?
I just saw the picture of it being almost as big as a fucking Series X. And I was like, well, one, I'll never be able to afford that card. Two, I'll never I'd have to upgrade my tower entirely.
Yeah. That would be
What's
a
the
lot.
benchmarks looking like?
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
I figured.
I mean, yeah, it's really stupid.
Yeah.
It can render this entire reality.
Basically.
It's pretty crazy. Like it's the size of a console. Like to think
It
about
really
that.
is only slightly smaller than like a PS5. Like it's like
It's taller
it's like
than
an
a Series X.
It's
But
like
yeah,
an
but not as much
Xbox Series
volume.
X like cut in half, basically. Like if you, which is
Insane.
huge.
Insane. Yeah. And you got to fit that in a fucking case somehow. But yeah, so I guess one thing besides the video game world and whatnot, but Blink 182 got back together. I guess
saw
that's
I heard
great.
that. I saw the tour tickets are like
Yeah.
$1,000
Oh, dude,
or
it's
something.
bullshit.
I saw the cheapest one that somebody could find was like $600.
Yeah, and these are like nosebleeds. Like
Yeah.
they're not like, oh, you're gonna pay $600 and be down in the pit. It's like $1,000 to be in the pit.
It's crazy because everybody's freaking out trying to go see My Chemical Romance and Blink 182, and one of the last concerts I went to was Blink 182 and My Chemical Romance in the same concert, and the tickets were like fucking $50 or something. Yeah.
That's because nobody knew what they had back then. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't know. Yep.
Yeah,
Don't know what
right.
you got till it's gone.
Exactly.
So
That's
true.
exactly what that song was written about. It was
Yeah.
about Blink 182
It was about that
and
concert
My Chemical
specifically.
Romance. And,
The whole era of music just going away so fast.
did
He
you see?
actually went back in time to write everybody and warn us, but nobody listened.
Nobody took heed.
But they're bringing a bunch of pop punk bands are trying to come back and feed off of the excitement. Like I saw Yellow Card's getting back together. I'm like, bro,
Oh my god.
Yellow
Just
Card, we don't
stop.
need you, bro.
Yeah, I know.
We don't need you.
Of all the bands we didn't need to get back together.
Ocean Avenue, dude.
Don't get me wrong, I like Yellow Card and all, but they Yellow Card has put on one of the worst live performances I've ever seen, personally. So I can never forgive that. You know what I mean? They might have just been having a bad day that day or something, but
I've heard they were really good live.
in my experience,
Yeah, it just wasn't.
It
good.
was Warped Tour though, so you know how the
Yeah.
sound can be sometimes. You're in a
Awful.
weird place.
You're
you know?
outside.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of fucking other bands playing 10 feet away.
Let's just say they didn't nail it that day.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You can't always kill it.
I
but-
feel bad for all the pop punk bands that never broke up and they've been trying to make it out here this whole time and they can't do a reunion tour because they're already together, so no one gives a fuck. So it's
Yeah, they never
they're
split up.
Fuck, we should have split up for a year.
Yeah,
and then
just a year.
Yeah,
That's all you need,
And just came back when Blink came back. Look at
How-
Fall Out
I think
Boy.
if I
They were
was
the
one
first ones
if
to
I
do
was
that.
one of those bands that had never broken up, I would just go on tour and call it the reunion tour.
Just
though
lie
I
about
would
it.
just boldface lie.
Yeah, because no one's gonna notice
Yeah.
that. Most people aren't listening to pop punk anymore.
Yeah.
So except for these reunion things, So it's
Either you know and you think that's kind of funny, haha,
Yeah.
or you don't know and you're like, oh, they're getting the band back together.
oh
You know?
boys, look.
Well, did y'all see that fucking tour that I saw it probably 6 months ago. I saw a picture of this tour poster that was called When We Were Young.
It's not a
And-
tour. It's a show in Vegas.
Okay, is it just
Yeah.
one show? But then I thought I saw that it was debunked as fake because none of the bands that were
Oh
listed
no,
on it.
it's gonna happen. I almost bought
okay.
tickets.
It happens next month.
I was
just
this
saw it,
close to
yeah.
going.
Oh,
For
okay.
sure.
but
I-
it's 50 bands one day. So they're gonna play
You're not gonna-
three songs
yeah.
a piece. So you're gonna get like little mini samples of each band, and then it's gonna.
How much
suck.
do you think the tickets are to that shit?
It's like $200.
Oh.
Yeah, it's only one stage. That's the problem. Like if they had like
No, there's multiple stages.
Did they add
They've
stages?
changed the layout completely.
Okay,
it's like
good.
3 stages, and like I think it's
the
going to be like Warped Tour. It's going to be like 30-minute sets. But the problem is you're going to have to pick between your favorite bands at certain
Yeah,
times,
who you
which
wanna
was like
listen to.
that's
Just
what-
like Warped
Just
Tour.
like Warped Tour, you're going to have to make some
Yeah.
crucial decisions. You know what I mean? But no, I can almost guarantee you that when we were young, it was going to be a lot of fucking fun.
I'm sure.
If I
especially
had
they're in
money,
Vegas,
if I
yeah.
had the money, I would be there for sure. Like.
I saw some meme about that, and it was like, when you're a kid in Warped Tour, is like $25, but if you bring 3 cans of soup, it's like 15, and then
Yeah.
like you see 100 of your favorite bands. And it was like when we were young tour, it's like $300 tickets. Yeah, you got to get a plane ride there and back, and like all this.
That's
shit.
the problem. That's the reason I didn't go. Because, like, me and Audra were seriously considering it. And if it's just the price of admission, it's not so bad. But, like,
Yeah.
the actual, like,
Round
hotel and the round trip. And,
It's a vacation.
and I'm not going to Vegas without gambling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, you can stay in a casino hotel.
No,
Just
yeah,
eat at the
for sure,
buffet,
for
the
sure.
free buffet the whole time.
free buffet.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about
Yeah.
all that.
It is a free buffet.
What hotel?
Almost every casino has a free buffet.
It ain't free, dog.
Dude, have you never been to just a casino with a free buffet?
Not in Vegas.
I've
never-
I've been to Vegas twice, but only when I was a kid, so I don't remember shit.
That was the only thing I could do at the casino because I was a kid, was go to the free buffet.
Was it one of the ones in Louisiana?
It was in Louisiana.
Yeah, those ones in Louisiana have mad buffets. They have like crab legs and shit you can get for free.
Yeah.
The ones in Vegas, they'll charge you like it's cheap, it's affordable comparatively to like everywhere else you can eat in Vegas, but they'll still fucking and like they'll try to bribe you by like, oh yeah, you can go eat at our buffet. Like if you stay here, like the hotel guy will come up and be like, yeah, you've been playing a lot of games. Go.
Yeah, go get you
know?
a free buffet,
Yeah.
son. You've been.
They use it as like incentive, like.
Hey, before you off yourself, have some chicken on us. Yeah.
So it's happening next year, October 21st of
No,
23.
they're doing it
They're
again
doing it
next
twice,
year.
yeah.
Oh, they're
They
gonna.
sold
Okay,
so
well then
many
next
fucking
year's
tickets.
lineup is Green
Blink
Day
and
and Blink.
everybody.
Yeah, Blink 182.
Yeah.
Good Charlotte.
This
Rise
year's
Against.
lineup is stupid, dude. Like it is stupid. Like there's a really, really good lineup.
So was next year's.
Yeah,
man.
next year's looks good.
Yeah, they
too.
got Good Charlotte, Rise Against, Yellow Card, Sum 41, Simple Plan, Newfound Glory, Bowling for Soup, Say Anything, Less Than Jake, Finch.
Wow.
and
Yeah,
then
Say Anything got
30
back
seconds.
together too for this. Max Bemis. Like I just saw Max Bemis like literally like 2 months ago in a barbecue restaurant with like 20 people. And, like he's like, guess what? And, like right after Blink announced it, he was like, I'm not even gonna lie. He's like, we're just getting back together for money, basically. He's just like, yeah, we're getting back together. We're gonna be at the when we were young.
I mean, why the fuck not?
Yeah, why
Like,
not?
If you had talent, why let it go to waste if there's an opportunity to capitalize on it again?
And plus, like, you're never gonna like. That's like the biggest show you're probably ever gonna get the opportunity to play again. You know what I mean, like, if you want to play a big crowd, like, and you're fucking the Simple Plan or something, you know,
Oh,
what
no,
I mean?
here,
That's
Larry-
your last chance.
Larry's barbecue gets pretty packed. What was the barbecue?
One
joke?
last show for the you know. But anyways, let's get into the games. Everybody's played Scorn. Let's fucking talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So, I liked it until like the combat started, and I literally haven't picked it up again ever since then. Like, it became that annoying to me.
I didn't even get that far. After that first fucking wall puzzle, I was like, I see where this is going. I got to the second part, and I wandered around for like 20 minutes not being able to find shit, and I was like, okay.
I actually really liked it until the fucking combat, like, because it reminds me of Myst for some reason. Like, that's
That's what another
it's got
one of our buddies were saying.
very Myst vibes, you know what I mean? But like gory Myst, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was definitely misty, but like it felt.
More like mushy. It was very mushy.
I wouldn't even say that. Like everything felt kind of stiff. Honestly, the game's very
Yeah,
stiff.
very stiff.
I just meant,
and
like,
that's
the
my problem
setting.
with the combat. Really, it's like there's no way for me to defend myself. Really, like it takes me fucking ages. I can do 2 little shots with my little fucking cow killing pistol thing that I have. You know what I mean? And it's like they're way tougher than I am. You know, and I get it. You know, that's part of the horror aspect. But at least give me the ability to like block or like get away from it or dodge it.
But it's not
something.
even scary.
It's not scary, and it's like. You know, the combat was just unnecessary. Like, just make it a fucking puzzle game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
or give me like a better weapon. You know,
it took
right
me
off the
too long to figure out you could sprint. I was going so fucking slow.
Oh my god!
dude.
Yeah, I had to figure that out right from the back.
Yeah, that was immediate. Like, I had to figure that out.
Wandered around for like 30 minutes, going real slow, and I was like, all right. I was like, there's got to be a fucking route. So I just started pressing every single button.
I like the puzzles. Like, I think the puzzles are pretty interesting, and like when you find the solution, you're like, okay, yeah, I feel like I figured it out, you know, and like weird little mechanisms that are kind of interesting. And it's like I was driven by like, you know, curiosity and like, you know, fucking the environment and stuff, but I just can't get over the combat. I really don't think I can keep playing. Like, it's just...
I quit. Yeah, I quit after I fought the first like actual enemy that fights you back.
Yeah, that's where I quit too.
And I was like,
no, this is too much for me. Yeah, like
it was just like
it was so annoying. Like, he did the cool death animation. I'm like, all right, cool. And then you go around the corner and there's another one of those fucking slug things, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and do this, and you have to heal yourself and can barely tell like what your health actually is.
There were parts that I liked though, like where you get the dude out of the egg and you have to like lead him over to the thing. I thought
get him scooped out.
Even that, even that was kind of like annoying because it's like you can't like you take him over to the thing. My first thing was I took him over like straight to the fucking door because I figured out the puzzle. I'm like, okay, I got this guy. I'm gonna put him on the thing and fucking then I'll go through the door. And it's like. The thing wants you to put one of those things on his hand first, but I just took him straight to the fucking door because it's like you don't need things on his hand to put his fingers in the little sucky hole and pull the thing. So I was like, I would just use the one where I do the fucking thing and he can do the sucky thing. But it's like, no, fucking he for some reason has to have one of the fucking
specific,
thing. Yeah. It's really stupid and it's like I don't know, that annoyed me, you know? It's like the puzzle could have been solved the way I don't know. It's just like
it had to be that specific way. No, I ran around for 15 minutes with a severed arm trying to figure out what in the fuck.
You had a severed arm? So wait, you killed the guy?
Oh yeah.
Wait, how'd you kill him?
I fucking scooped him out of his shell with
what?
Yeah. I guess there's different ways to go about it.
Hold up. Yeah, no, when I did it, I took his little egg thing over to the little buzzsaw and like cut him out of the egg, and then like
that's what I did. Yeah
like followed me over there. And like
I like how whenever he falls and he's just like whoa,
yeah.
I was like, oh god, I'm sorry.
I didn't even know you could kill him. I didn't even know you could hurt him. I thought he was just our little homie. Like,
no, so there's a bunch of different chambers that you could have took his little cart to.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I took him
I was trying to put him back in the cart and like take him somewhere else. I was like trying to like line him up under the claw and like pick him up by the head and like put him back in the thing. No, yeah, you can get him out of the egg, and then he just fucking like follows you around, like. But he's really slow. So
I got him out of there.
I bet
There's one that's like it literally looks like an ice cream scoop.
Oh god, yeah.
And
I thought that was gonna be the safe one. I took him to the one that looks like a buzzsaw.
I didn't know what to expect, but then like I took him to the one that was a scoop, and it literally like a freaking mussel in a shell, just like. And just scooped him into a freaking like pit, and then one of his arms like got chopped off in the process. But no, he definitely died.
Oh, geez.
Oh well, I mean, I guess it would have been quicker to do the scoop because then you can just take his hand over there and not wait for him to fucking just like.
Yep. Well, on top of that, it was the first one that I had open too. Like how I already had my track set up, it like going to the scoop was like the closest first one. So I pushed him into the scoop, and
you probably did the right thing. Put that guy out of his fucking misery.
Yeah,
I think the whole point, like. I kind of got the gist, like, of what was going on pretty early. I was like, okay, so we're in hell for some reason. Obviously, we did something fucked up. And then you're like this selfish-ass dude who's, like, willing to just fuck over these other people. So you haven't learned your lesson. It's basically like, and every time you think you're going to get somewhere and it's going to maybe get brighter or you'll be in a better place, it's just right back to like more dark and like bullshit. And I was like,
I did notice there's that one like biome change for a second where the sky goes like purple and
like
it's like
desolate
sand and
desert
stuff, and it's like, but then What makes me think that it's not hell is all the like spaceship type artifacts all over the place. You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of like biomechanical fucking spaceship looking things. Like, and it's like, why would there be like big old spaceships in hell? You know what I mean? Like,
but if you've noticed, none of them are actually like actual technology. They're all just fucking like tissue and bones.
But it could be technology. It could be alien technology.
Living ships.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky.
I mean, for real, like, or fucking Mass Effect, you know? And it's like, you look at the fucking, I mean, it's definitely a crashed, like, decommissioned ship, you know? Like, you can tell that it's not, like, functional anymore because it's just, like, on the floor of the fucking, like, Sahara Desert looking place and it's all fucking torn up, you know what I mean? Like, that part where you're walking around the outside of the ship, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I wonder if it ever explains it at the end.
I'm sure.
I don't think so. I honestly think it's one of those games where you're just going to, like, never get an answer.
I'll never get an answer because I'll never finish the game, probably. But
I'm gonna watch
it's just like Stray. Honestly, I keep drawing the comparison to Stray on PS4. It's exclusive day one for both consoles. They're both very mid-tier games, like
very
gameplay,
mid.
and like the graphics are really good on both games.
But the game itself is kind of like
the game
shallow.
I'm not going to finish either one. I'm definitely not going to finish Stray, and I'm definitely not going to finish Scorn. You know what I mean? But I can appreciate that they're both there.
Scorn,
you know?
It kind of seemed like they had a more FPS direction they wanted to go with it, and then just kind of changed because it had a super long development period, right? Like,
no. I thought
it has been announced for a while.
Yeah,
like,
I thought it had like years and years of development.
Yeah, and they changed the art style on it a little bit too. Like it was originally like a darker looking game, and then they changed like it I don't know, you can see the original version versus the new version on YouTube videos and stuff. Like they've changed a lot like artistically about the game.
Definitely creative, artistic wise, very creative, and like and everything looks very gross, and they stick to a good theme of that.
It's I think personally it's a better Agony than Agony, but it's still not a great game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't sell a game on just like grossness alone.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
there's got to be more to it, or at least make it less bleak and desolate. Like I don't know, it was just kind of like
I don't really mind that. I just wish there was more like puzzles in a quick succession, like more shorter puzzles and no combat at all. Yeah, that's how I would make the game.
There's a lot of walking.
Change the biomes a little more than you do every like 2 or 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like
you can't do just like go from dark greens to purples. Like it's like you got to change that shit up.
Change something else. Yeah.
But like I said, I think that was meant to be like they were like trying to make it overbearing.
For sure, and
like,
I get the art. You know, the choices they made. You know, I respect it.
Yeah. It's whatever. It's a $35 game. It wasn't like a legit like AAA title or anything. It was just like, here we go. Here's like a fucking mid-tier game. Like I feel like that's what it's always been like, just from the out.
It did get a lot of hype though, as being like the next Game Pass game. You know what I mean? That everybody should look forward to, kind of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Which I don't understand why. Like Xbox needs to stop hyping up games. Like if they play the game and they're like, actually this ain't that hype, we should probably not hype this up. Like that's how it should go. Like notice PlayStation only hypes up games that are going to be dope.
They know are going to be sick.
Yeah, like they get quiet about shit that isn't going to be dope.
Even the stuff that they're on the fence about, like Ghost of Tsushima and Days Gone and stuff like that.
They're quiet about it.
They're not they're not loud about it.
Until people like it. And then they're like, actually.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, they mentioned it like a couple times leading up to the game, and as soon as they realized people enjoyed it, like they're pushing it hard, bro. You know? And it's the opposite with Days Gone. Like it was getting a little bit of, and as soon as they realized people weren't like vibing with it as much as they thought,
they cut that shit off.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
but see, that's the thing, is like it makes Xbox look untrustworthy every time they hype one of these games and it's just mid-tier. It's like, don't do that shit.
A lot of those games too, like fucking like what's that zombie game that they are always hyping? Fucking
Back for Blood.
No,
State of Decay.
The new State, and it's a good game. It's not a bad game, but it's not like something to hype up.
No,
you know
it's
what
just
I mean?
like a fucking. It's like a AA game.
Yeah.
It's like if you got hyped about fucking you know, I don't know, one of those Oddworld Odyssey games, like, and you're just like, y'all ready for this?
It's like the games they have the right to hype up right now. It's like Halo, Forza, fucking Gears of War. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of a single... Well, no, Plague Tale. They should probably be pushing Plague Tale harder on people. I think Plague Tale is a really...
I don't know. I think Plague Tale is a great game, but I don't think it's a game that you hype. Just because it's not Xbox exclusive. 2, yeah, it's coming to Game Pass, but it's like it's going to be everywhere else too. It's going to be on PC and PlayStation. So it's like,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah, but
why hype it on Xbox?
Because it's the only thing that Game Pass has going for it until the end of the year, basically, except
I know.
for Persona.
I wish High on Life was coming out earlier. That's one that they
when
should
is
be
High on
hyping.
Life? That's
December,
December? Yeah.
Is it? Oh, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it's
That's
a while.
actually. I
long.
mean, yeah, it's a while, but I thought we were waiting until next year for it. So
no.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah. That one I think will be the first good Game Pass game. Like
Nah, dude, Plague Tale's gonna be fucking bomb, dude.
What?
But that's not. It's still. I just mean exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Like
well,
it'll be.
I think
the
High
first,
on Life's gonna be on everything too. It's not exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah, there might be
Is it?
some like
I thought it was
temporary
Xbox.
exclusion. No,
I don't think so.
I don't think it is either.
Let's see.
But I mean, dude, Forza
Yeah.
was
Forza's
insanely good.
Yeah, no, Forza's great. I'm just saying, like,
I think Forza's been one of the best ones.
They
Like
need
even
to-
over Halo Infinite, because Halo Infinite was real rocky, but Forza came out.
I
and
mean,
just, like,
the first half of the year, I feel like was
No,
not,
High on Life's only coming to Xbox and PC.
Really.
Yeah.
oh,
That's what I was saying. That's going to be their first like it's our game,
Interesting.
and it's going to be
I thought
good.
that was coming to everything for some reason.
No.
Well, that's cool. That's exciting then.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
why that's why I was talking about last week how people were hating on it because it was only coming to Xbox, and I was like, bro, it's going to be dope.
Yeah.
But-
Honestly,
So-
I think it's gonna be like hilarious.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna
it'll
be
be an
really funny.
experience.
I don't think it's gonna be like
The best
a
game
great
ever.
like
Nah.
shooter. You
No,
know what I mean? Like
I don't know about that because some of the the gameplay with the boss fight looked fucking good. Like
oh no, I don't.
Guys swinging
I think
around
it's
and
gonna be
shit.
just good enough to where you're not like mad about the gameplay. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be just good enough to keep you laughing and playing the game for the hilariousness. I think it's gonna be like South Park or something like the South Park
Stick of
games.
Truth
Yeah,
and all
like
that.
those were awesome games, and like but the focus wasn't necessarily like the RPG.
the gameplay.
elements,
It was
you
yeah,
know,
it was
like
just-
which they had enough of to keep you interested and
Yeah.
like engaged the whole time. You know.
yeah.
But it was the funny like TV show
story.
quality like South Park stuff you were getting. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
was one
I'm
thing about the
excited for it.
games is like those games were even funnier than like the recent like seasons of fucking South Park. Like they were really funny. Like
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
South Park's kind of taken a dip here lately,
it's so hit or miss
and
for
and
me.
they've jumped freaking platforms a bunch too
Yeah, it's,
lately.
that's my
They're
problem
getting
with South
sold
Park is
around.
it's like hard for me to find it. I miss when it was
You're
just
like,
on
what-
Hulu.
yeah,
you know?
who
like,
owns y'all? Like, goddamn it.
Though on Hulu, a new, or I guess it's not new because it came out earlier this year, but it's new to Hulu. They got like the newest season of American Dad and a whole new season of
Really?
of Family Guy too. I think.
Oh yeah,
I
I've been
gave
there's
up on
new
Family Guy a
Family
long
Guy.
time ago.
Family Guy hasn't been tickling my funny bone either lately.
American Dad always tickles my funny bone.
Yeah.
Family Guy, not so much. If Family Guy's like I put it on when I'm going to sleep, but American Dad, like I'll put on just to actually watch.
I just
like,
haven't been vibing with like Seth MacFarlane's cartoons lately. I don't know what it is, you know what I mean? But like I've been going for like Bob's Burgers and stuff. I don't know.
It's a little more wholesome. It's a little
Maybe that's just
harder
what I
for me to
need,
laugh.
you know?
Yeah, like I don't watch Bob's Burgers to laugh. I just watch it because it's wholesome.
It's a good show.
It feels good.
It's just it's just a fun show.
It's
to
a
watch,
feel
you know?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like playing Animal Crossing to me. I like those two coincide. Like it's like I don't even think like Bob's Burgers should be counted as an adult show. It's a family show. It's not a kids show. It's not an adult show. It's a family
It's like
show.
The Simpsons or something, you know? It's not
Yeah.
like super
You
know,
learn a
raunchy or anything. Like it's just
yeah. You might learn a lesson in each episode. You know, it's like one of those shows where like at the end you're like, yeah.
Did you watch the movie, the Bob Burgers movie?
Wait, it looked like they just like had ray tracing on like
RTX.
yeah dude like it was like every other it was just like an amalgamation of like like 2 episodes put together but with like ray tracing
Yeah.
like everything had
I
like
enjoyed it. I thought
like, it was
fun.
good. It was good. It just had like light, everything had shadows and like lighting, and then you go back to a normal episode, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Nothing has shot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no shadows. Like it's weird. But
That's how it is
Well-
playing Bone Labs on the PC and then playing it on the Quest. It's like everything's just shadows and shit, and you're like, "Whoa, I
And
can
then
see my
Quest is
hands on
nothing.
the floor." And then Quest is just baked lighting. Like,
Well, speaking of Bone Labs, what else have y'all been playing?
Bone Labs.
Bone Labs.
I have like almost every fucking mod that has over like a 70% rating just downloaded. Like I have cars and fucking guns and like they've really come a long way. Like, I'd be, like, just driving a fucking car off the top of the Empire State Building in that game and then, like, fucking hopping out as Barack Obama and fucking, like, jetpacking off with 2 miniguns. Like, fucking, like, you can, it's just insane what you can do now. Like, fucking.
Historical accuracy, dude.
It's
I remember when he did that.
No, I haven't had a chance to return to it. I didn't get to play it at all last week. Just been doing a whole lot, but I plan to get back into it this week because I checked mod.io.
I check it every day. Yeah.
I checked it like on Wednesday.
Have you seen the gun mods they've been adding?
I saw a couple. Yeah.
So they got Desert Eagles and like a couple other pistols and like all kinds of stuff.
I didn't see any of the car mods though.
Oh, yeah. So they've got a car.
Yeah.
They've got a golf cart.
Yeah, that like can double as like a Mario Kart.
No, they've got a Mario Kart, like a straight-up Mario
okay.
Kart that's like a Mario-themed. Like when you download the pack, you get Mario and Luigi's Mario Karts, which function and handle probably the best out of all the modded, vehicles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's the Bone Tube, which is just a fucking inner tube that you can get in. And then there's the...
Could have chose a better name for that.
Then there's the car, which functions pretty well, but you have to get in through the window. So you have to, like maneuver your, like, head through the window and then, like, climb your virtual body through somehow, and then you can sit in the seat.
It sounds very inconvenient.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Just
is.
mod a fucking door.
But it's great at the
Absolutely.
same time. It's totally worth it. And then there's the golf carts. They have like a roofless and a not roofless variant of like a golf cart. And then there's like a couple other random things.
So as
But they don't
Obama, did you drive out of the car and then have to climb out the window mid-air?
Yes. Yeah, no. Yeah. So the car's like falling. I put it in like 3 times slow-mo. You hit the slow-mo button 3 times and you hold it. And then you're just climbing out like that scene in Uncharted where it's like falling fucking. It's great.
That's pretty cool.
It's so good.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to have to... I'll go back to it this week.
The car's
and
great
throw
because
some
you can
mods
just
in
like
there.
load your fucking... Oh, and there's a hamster ball mod where you can get in a hamster ball or you can load it up with enemies and like push it down a hill. There's like every map you can think of from everything. They've got like the fucking Squid Town from fucking... What's that? Splatoon game.
Splatoons,
They've
yeah.
got fucking every... Like they've got Vice City's map. They've got San Andreas's map. Basically every map from Gary's mod. Fucking like... It's really impressive what they've done. Like, and... The avatars are stupid. I've got an Ariana Grande avatar. So I'm just running around as Ariana Grande with like Glocks just blasting everybody.
The fuck?
It's ridiculous and it's great.
Did you get to try out Overwatch 2 yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
How was it?
It's pretty good. It's just like Overwatch.
It's just
1.
Overwatch. Yeah. That
It honestly doesn't feel any different to me.
Yeah, it doesn't look any different.
people get mad.
I still haven't tried it yet, and I haven't even played a single match.
It's fun. It's just Overwatch. It's just more Overwatch.
Oh man, like I don't know how I feel about it. But I'm mad about this. Okay, fucking they took Hades off of Game Pass.
You talked about this last episode. Like
Did I mention it?
Yeah, you're like, if they ever take Hades, because what were we talking about? Maybe the
discounted prices.
The discounted prices. Yep. Yeah.
I was so mad. I went to go play Hades, and like I play Hades a lot. You know what I mean? I've got hundreds of hours into Hades, which is one reason why this pisses me off so much. Because I'm not gonna buy it again on Microsoft Store. If I buy it again, it's gonna be on like Steam or PlayStation or something. Fucking. So I went to play it. I hit the play button and nothing happened. I thought something was like wrong with my computer. I rebooted my computer like 4 times until I finally realized like it doesn't say like
Game Pass
included. I was so mad, dude. I almost unsubscribed, but then I was like, okay, Plague Tale's coming out. I'm gonna play that. But so I went to GameStop the other day. I went to GameStop the other day, and they have this sweet clearance sale going on right now where, like, everything is on clearance, and you can get half off of the clearance. So, like, fucking, they had Hades there for, like, $9 or something. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go ahead and buy it again on PS5. But so I've, like, restarted my entire Hades experience from the ground up, which sucks because, like I said, I've spent hundreds of hours.
You literally called that last week. You're like, yeah, I should probably buy it at the discounted price because if they ever take it off, I'm going to be really sad.
Yeah.
I think were your exact words, and they fucking
They did it, dude. I shouldn't have said anything, man.
Really, yeah, you jinxed the fuck out of yourself. I've just been bullshitting. Still enjoying Chivalry and kind of dipping back into Cyberpunk?
I was bad at that. I played it a little bit, but
it's hard, yeah.
I played it as an archer most of the time. I know that's probably the cheese way to play, but like
if you don't have
Did you
a
play with
giant
controller?
Huh?
Did you play with controller?
Uh-uh.
Okay, good. I was about to say a controller makes it so much harder.
Yeah, control. No, yeah.
I'm so good with the archery, bro. I was just fucking nailing people like from outer space. Because like I guess I'm good at like aero physics because I kind of have an idea of like
timing and everything.
Yeah, like I'm just good. Like I don't know, man. I'm getting people from like way the fuck. Like
fuck yeah.
They're like popping their head up just.
See, I sucked like really bad the first like 3 nights that I played, and then you just got to get over that. Like, there's like a skill hump that like once you get over that, you really start getting a feel for the game and how to kind of get your shots in better, how to time shit, and then you also have to take.
The tutorial is pretty good about teaching you like a lot of the things you need to do, like turning into your slices and stuff. You know.
Yeah, and it's not super complex, but it's complex enough for there to be a pretty good like skill like. I guess not gap, but like, you know, starting out versus like a veteran player. Like a veteran player is going to smoke any new players.
Well, they've got the new player mode where you can play against like bots and
AI
new
just
players
to get you
mixed together, you know, which is a good way to learn.
Yep. Yeah. No, I've been enjoying it. But like, I only use giant. I play like Elden Ring sometimes. I use a giant ass fucking axe or a great sword. And I'll freaking like dodge around and like you could duck and stuff. And yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. And then just still kind of messing with Cyberpunk here and there.
Avery says archers.
yeah, with a smug face.
Hey, man. Sorry.
I hate shield bastards. Shield bastards are way bigger pusses than archers, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm a pretty big pussy. I stand across the field, just like if anybody comes near me, I just burn off, bro.
But that takes skill to like you're saying, like you're good with like shooting. Like it's not that easy to like pick people off with
the hardest
with
thing
a bow.
for me is to not shoot my teammates.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I have to like really be
the
aware
fucking
because
friendly
people just run right in front of your arrows. Like I have to make sure there's nobody like.
It's hard to tell who's who.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've been playing a lot of Insurgency Sandstorm, which is like, I don't even know how to explain it.
I've heard of that. But
It's like the halfway point between a milsim and Call of Duty. If I had to explain it, like it's a very realism-based shooter.
It's very realistic. Like you get shot once or twice and you're dead.
Yeah,
but like very Rainbow Six like. But there's like PvP or there's like PvE, things where you're going in and like I guess like the what do you call it? Computer characters. I don't know why.
NPCs.
I'm not used to that because I'm mostly playing online. But like the AI is insane. So you'll be like shooting at some and they'll like go around and like flank you and shit. They're like constantly popping up behind you and just capping you in the back of the head and shit. It's crazy. But the PvP it's terrible. Like you'll do
it's awful.
You will
die. I love the co-op missions in that game and playing because you'll have like a full team for co-op. Mm-hmm. It'll be like 80 y'all against you're moving like point to point, fighting a whole town of insurgents.
Yeah,
so like cool.
Yeah, the
very
co-op's
limited,
badass, super realistic. But the PvP, I can't get a fucking kill on that shit. Like people, it's just like you have to basically inch your way around the entire time and not move at all to get kills.
You have to go slow. But like. It is like satisfying when you do get a kill though, in PvP. You feel really cool about it. But like, and then the game ends and you have like a 2 kill 18 death ratio, and you're like, yeah. But,
yeah, the people who play multiplayer on that they're super sweaty about it. Like,
yeah,
super. But it's the audio in that game. The fucking
it's cool.
The death audio is they went a little far with it.
It's not that bad.
Sometimes you'll shoot
like,
you'll shoot a motherfucker and you'll hear like you'll like walk past him to like check the doorway and you'll hear him like choking on his blood behind you. Like
yeah,
they'll be like
they'll be like rolling around like you see him get shot and they're just like
or they'll do like a death
like I'm shooting that guy again. Hold up.
It doesn't do anything when you shoot him again though. For some reason,
that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put the guy out of his misery.
Nah,
that would be a nice feature.
He's got to dwell in it apparently.
more than they deserve.
Yeah. So you'll be like fighting. It's like terrorists versus like U.S. Like military most of the time. And so it is fun to like have proximity chat going. Like you'll like hit on the talk and just like if you're the terrorist, just like run. I'm like Jamel, but like my name in game is Jamal the Camel, so it just like it's very fitting. But like it's fun, and then like if you play military, like the military side, you can like call in choppers and stuff like after kill streaks. But like on the other side, you get like drones, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Anyways, off to the news. Just so you guys know, we are using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the articles as our own. We're just bringing them all here to one place so you can get your news quick and easy. Yeah. All right, so let's start this off with some interesting news. And probably the biggest news. It'll be good for next week's episode. But Konami has launched a new Silent Hill website with a date fans of the horror franchise will want to mark their calendars for. October 19th, 2022. This is going to be this upcoming Wednesday. The website was announced alongside a tweet that says, quote, "In your restless dreams, do you see that town? The latest updates for the Silent Hill series will be revealed during the Silent Hill transmission on Wednesday, October 19th. So while it's not 100% a confirmation, Masahiro Ito, who has played a huge role in Silent Hill's past and was the art direction of such games as Silent Hill 2, may be involved in the series' future, as he retweeted the announcement. So Silent Hill has been quiet for some time, blah, blah, blah. We know that. So basically, we're finally going to get to hear about Silent Hill.
About the new Silent Hill slot machine.
Yeah, dude, I would laugh so fucking hard.
Pachinko,
yeah.
If they were just like Silent Hill pinball coming to Switch. Son of a bitch.
God damn it.
I would actually, that would be so funny. Oh, no, but I really hope we get a really good Silent Hill game, and I hope it comes soon. You know what I mean? I hope they're like, this December, coming tomorrow. They're just like, they launch it in like a week.
2, yeah.
Bro, that would be sick.
Pull up Bethesda. Well, old school Bethesda.
Yeah, like a back in the day Bethesda.
Yeah, wasn't it like a month between like the reveal of 4 and the release?
Do you think this is going to be like a reboot of like the original games or like a new game altogether?
They haven't said anything on it at all, have they?
No.
No.
All we know is that they're going to announce something Silent Hill related on the 19th.
You know, I think because there's the one guy who talked about the leak, what was it, a couple weeks ago? He said that there's like multiple projects for Silent Hill.
You think they're going to announce multiple projects?
I think there's going to be a remake of the first one. Or like a full remake or reboot or whatever, or a remake, and then they're gonna do maybe a whole nother game, like a whole like untold story. I think it's gonna be 2. I think
they'd be smart to do the Resident Evil thing, to do the new one in first person mode, like PT should have been, and then do the reboot in third person, like
But I definitely think we're gonna hear about a remake too. Like it's too easy.
In third person, remake in third person.
No,
reboot in first person,
remake in third person.
Person, yeah.
They would be really smart. I mean, that model
like,
has worked out really well for Resident Evil.
Yeah, Resident Evil's got a winning formula over there, you know? I don't know.
But it is exciting that they're coming back, so we'll see what happens. I mean, it's not gonna be a fucking Kojima, Guillermo del Toro production, so it ain't gonna be that hype, but it might be just as hype if they got like the original creator on it and it's all good and shit.
I'm sure it has, just being in Silent Hill is inherently creepy. Like, you don't have to make it, like, I don't know. I think it has a lot of potential.
It does. I just feel like a lot of the original games were hit or miss. It was like, it was like a good game, bad game, or it was like actually okay game, great game, and then good again, with The Room or whatever, and then it was like just a bunch of like random offshoot bullshit games.
So, okay, I feel that. I feel like Silent Hill 1 was like a great idea. Obviously, it like brought the concept of Silent Hill to life, which was like, which in and of itself is great, It just was kind of constricted by like the platforms it was on and like the limitations of technology at the time.
For sure.
Like Silent Hill 2 is like the premier Silent Hill experience. Obviously, it's the one everybody like looks back on fondly. I personally think Silent Hill 3. Which one? That wasn't The Room, was it? So that was
No,
4.
3's that's why I was saying 3 was bad. 3 was the one.
3 was probably the worst in the series, right?
With the carnival and shit. Like,
but even
if I remember
3
right.
I enjoyed. Like I remember 3 being like okay, like I don't know. And same with the one on Wii that everybody hates on, the Shattered Memories or whatever. I like that one too, you know what I mean?
What is that?
It's like the one where the cover of the game is like the girl on the swing set, like fucking, or maybe that's Homecoming.
That is Homecoming.
I liked Homecoming. I like Shattered Memories too. I liked both the ones that came to Wii. I don't know. I haven't played a Silent Hill game that I just disliked. You know what I mean? Silent Hill 4: The Room, I think, is my favorite though. It's just such a weird game. Like,
so there's been a lot of Silent Hill games. Specifically, there's been 12 Silent Hill games.
Wow,
shit.
holy shit!
That's what I was talking about. How there's a lot of hit or miss. So ranked from worst to best in Metacritic. Silent Hill Book of Memories was the worst.
Okay.
What platform was that on?
It
Probably
came out
DS
in
or
2012. This one actually was on PS Vita.
Oh. I've never heard of this one, so I never had a Vita though. So
I mean, I had a PSP, but not a Vita.
that's a shame because if I had a Vita, that's definitely something I would have picked up. You know what I mean?
Second worst is Silent Hill Downpour. Came out the same year.
That's
as
another
the
one
other
I haven't played.
Then there was Silent Hill HD Collection. That shit was awful, in my opinion. I thought it that's why I don't have much hype for these games, is because I owned the HD collection, and they just didn't hold up.
It was kind of a bad. I mean, it was
a bad reskinning.
They didn't really do anything to the game. They just.
I mean, it was done by Blue Point, like the people who did. So I mean, it looked good. The game looked good, especially for the time.
At the time, but I mean,
it didn't
still.
play well.
I was supposed to say they should have changed the controls up and stuff. It still had that old
modernized,
clunky fucking like.
Yeah, and then there was that was the Silent Hill HD collection on 360, and apparently just I don't know what that is. But anyways, then Silent Hill Homecoming is number 8 ranked.
Okay, yeah, I like that one. That was like I said, that's one that generally is kind of like disregarded as one of the worst games in the series. But
yeah,
I enjoyed it a lot.
Silent Hill 4: The Room is the 7th ranked.
See, wow, okay,
yeah.
The Room is, in my opinion, story wise and like maybe not gameplay wise, but it's so interesting. It's so interesting. And like compared to like 2 and like the earlier ones, the graphics are pretty good. I really recommend Silent Hill 4: The Room. You can get it on GOG for like $5. It's fucking awesome.
Well, the PSP game Silent Hill Origins beat out The Room.
I might have to play that.
Yeah. Silent Hill Shattered
I got a PSP
Memories.
emulator actually.
Oh,
fucking,
really?
Yeah.
On your PC or on your phone?
Yeah, no, on the phone. Or I mean, on the PC.
Huh.
It's called PPSSPP.
PP.
and it's fucking great. It works really well.
So Silent Hill, after that one, it's Silent Hill Shattered Memories, which is the Nintendo Wii one.
Right. That's another one. That one's good.
That's number 5 ranked. And then Silent Hill 2, Restless Dreams, is number 4 ranked. Silent Hill 3 is number 3 ranked. Silent Hill, the original, is number 2 ranked. And then Silent Hill 2, 2001, is the number 1 ranked.
See, if I made this list, I would swap The Room and 3 in their position on this list. But other than that, and I would put that other one a little higher on the list, the Wii one.
Yeah.
But, other than that, pretty solid list, I'd say.
We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see what they announce. Like, I think that really, once we see what they've got, then I'll set my hype expectations. Right now, I'm just kind of like, all right, whatever. Just show me what you got.
What is this going to be? Like a whole
Wednesday. It's just like a state of play, basically, but for Konami.
So I gotta say, I really hope they lean into the fucking scare factor on this. You know what I mean? Because we don't have anything to look forward to that's like genuinely terrifying looking.
Yeah.
Like Outlast Trials to me doesn't look as scary as the normal Outlast.
Because it's multiplayer.
Exactly. And like nothing against it. I think it's gonna be great. But I also think, hey, I don't really have something like genuinely terrifying to look forward to. And that's a gap that like I feel like if you fill it, you're going to make some money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When is Outlast Trials supposed to come out?
I don't know. Next year at some point, I think.
Yeah, it's next year. But the closed beta, the closed beta starts this month. I'm hoping I get an email for that because I requested it like the day they announced the beta. So
Damn.
we'll see how it goes.
I hope they do go with that. I've been waiting a long time for that.
Yeah.
Outlast is one of my favorite horror game series of all time.
And the other horror games coming out, I feel like Callisto Protocol might be kind of scary.
Yeah.
I don't think Dead Space is going to be that scary just because I already know everything that's going to happen. And honestly, I'm not too impressed with the fucking gameplay.
It literally looks just like the
in
old
some
one.
instances, the color and stuff in the old one looks better. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like some of the art direction choices in the old one are better too. Like, I don't know.
They got like less gritty in the new one.
It's just
too clean.
It's not bad. Like, the new one looks fine. It just doesn't look. I don't know. There's something about the old one that had like a magical little.
It was
glare
darker.
to it.
This one looks
Yeah.
sanitized. Like I feel like too many things try to look so clean that it just literally looks like they were sanitized. Where it like looks like they just went over it with some alcohol pads, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like I like my shit gritty.
Yeah.
And like dork, you know. But anyways,
Dork.
yeah, dork.
Yeah, dork.
What are you, dork? No, but what do you got, Devin?
So over in the PC world, NVIDIA is unlaunching the 12 gigabyte RTX 4080 after criticism. So Adam Bankhurst over at IGN says NVIDIA has announced that it is unlaunching the 12 gigabyte RTX 4080 graphics card after criticisms regarding the difference between this and the more powerful 16 gigabyte model.
Okay.
We've seen this in the past with what was it the 10 series or the 20 series? We saw the same exact thing, and they just rebranded it as a lower tier.
Super or?
No, I think it was the 10 series.
With the 2080s, they had the Super and the TI and the fucking normal 2080, and they were all different in their own way.
Yeah, it was something like that, and then it just got bumped down to a lower number was the result. So NVIDIA shared the news in a blog post saying the RTX 4080 12 gigabyte is a fantastic graphics card, but it's not named right. Not named right. So it's just going to get a fucking... having two GPUs with the 4080 designation is confusing. So we're pressing the unlaunch button on the 4080 12 gigabyte. NVIDIA continued. The RTX 4080 16 gigabyte is amazing and on track to delight gamers everywhere on November 16th. The 12 gigabyte RTX 4080 was set to launch alongside the 16 gigabyte model for $899, but it was going to do so with less RT, Tensor, and CUDA cores than the more expensive model.
Sweet. Can't wait for them to delight gamers across the map.
Yeah, but the 16 gigabyte, I was kind of excited about the 12 gig because it's a whole like $300 cheaper.
Yeah.
So like, could have waited a little bit longer for that price to go down to where it might have been, reasonable to get it.
I'm probably not gonna get one until they announce like the 60 fucking, because that's generally the price point I can hit. It's like the mid-tier like 60 cards or the fucking, if I'm lucky, maybe we could get a 70 going, you know what I mean? But like I'm definitely not getting a 4080 or a 3080, you know what I mean?
You're also going to have to update your power supply. Like
I got a fucking massive power supply unit just sitting in my room ready to go. Just
cool.
Like I bought it when I thought I was going to get a fucking 3080 back in the day, and it's just been sitting in my room ever since.
I'm not even sure what my power supply is in my PC.
I've got like a really good one. Like I bought it like it's super fancy. I don't know.
It's
gold. It's gold.
I'm hoping what this means though is that they're just going to turn it into the 4070 and maybe even drop it a little bit on price. And
that would be nice, but my thought is like they probably already have a 4070 and a 4060 like made. You know what I mean? Like they probably already exist in a lab somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like maybe it'll be the 4070 Ti or something. You know what I mean? Or like the 40. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it says meaning it's like those looking for a cheaper option will have to wait until NVIDIA reveals its plan to relaunch the 12 gigabyte iteration. So I'd put my money on it just being called the 4070, honestly.
Yeah. Whatever they drop that's around the $600 price point is probably the one I'll go for. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I just like all the software updates or like the Ada Lovelace and everything, and the reskinning of like old games that it can do.
Just DLSS 3 alone makes me like wanna I'm gonna have to skip the 30 series. You know what I mean? Because I was originally all hyped when they started announcing the 4090 and shit. I'm like, oh, I'll just get a 30 series because they'll probably start getting cheaper. You know what I mean? But now there's so many cool new features on the 40. I'm like, yeah.
Compared from the 20 series to the 30 series, the 30 to 40 is a bigger step.
Yeah, the 30 series just does the 20 series stuff better.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
it.
mean?
It doesn't add any fancy new software. No new DLSS jump.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
That being said, the 30 series cards should still hold up very well throughout the foreseeable future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just not going to have the fancy bells and whistles of the 40.
Also, yeah, it's like it also depends on how quickly developers start even trying to fuck with the stuff, you know? Like, it's like, you know, like there might be games coming out for a long time that have no like access to the features on the 40. You know what I'm saying? It's not like...
I mean, they're going to launch with like a lot of games like supporting the fucking DLSS 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think Cyberpunk is getting like, you know, features added onto it and stuff. Like a lot of games that are... There's like a list I had the other day that when it was like over 20 games at launch.
Really?
Like, yeah, for DLSS 3 specifically.
The Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to have DLSS 3 support when it launches on PC.
Which is awesome because it makes it... I mean, it's like crazy improved on DLSS 2, which is already the best upsampling technology out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But now there's a 3.
I'm just excited for AMD to catch up to DLSS because their FSR 2.0 is really pretty good, you know what I mean? And if whatever 3.0 is will be compatible with the new consoles because they're running on AMD technology. So like the better FSR gets, the better console gaming gets. You know what I mean? Like,
so what you got, Brent?
Okay.
Okay, dog.
Let's see.
Dog.
Oh, here's one. Okay. After announcing a 4-player co-op mode will be coming to Gotham Knights next month, Warner Bros. Montreal has shared another, less exciting piece of news.
Who didn't think that feature was coming?
Right?
Though, we do got to talk about that. I said there was not 4-player co-op on this game, and for some reason, we said there was 4-player co-op. Like, there's not. When it launches, there's no 4-player co-op.
We probably talked about, like, why wouldn't there be?
It's got a 2-player co-op campaign that you can play through at launch. But this is coming, like, a week later.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's not launching with it, but it will be there, like, within a month.
I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I don't fucking believe him.
This is like fucking Halo Infinite all over again.
Right, for real.
We decided to give you 60 frames, and we're not going to add the co-op.
No, they didn't even do that.
Honestly, fuck the co-op. Like, give us 60 frames, dude. Like,
but anyway, yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So, as you might have deduced, the game will run at 30 frames per second on console with no performance mode option.
It's like, what? Hold on.
The announcement was made via official Gotham Knights Discord, blah, 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 blah.
Bad place to drop it.
They say, due to the types of features we have in our game, likely providing a fully untethered co-op experience.
Likely? What is likely?
Or no, I said like providing...
I was like, what does that mean?
Like providing a fully untethered co-op experience in our highly detailed world. Marty writes, it's not as straightforward as lowering the resolution and getting a higher frame rate. But it is, though.
Look, Jamal, it's likely you'll get these features, but
it's
until
possible.
we launch, I mean,
but look,
you're just not going to know.
Hear me out here,
I'm
okay?
listening.
We go to the recommended specs for PC, okay? Now, let's just keep in mind that the modern consoles, Xbox Series X is running like a fucking 2080, PS5 is running like a 2070, basically. I mean, if we're just looking at straight performance analytics here. The minimum specs at low settings, 60 frames per second, for fucking Gotham Knights on PC is a 1660 Ti. Okay?
Okay.
So theoretically, hypothetically, we should be able to get some sort of 1080p fucking 60 frame per second mode. This feels like a lazy developer.
Are they locking the frame? This is for console specifically.
For console
specifically, at 30.
They're locking it at 30. Yeah. But it's like, we know we can outperform a 1660 Ti easily with a PS5. You know what I mean? Like, it should smoke that. You know what I mean? I don't know. This, to me, this feels like a case of lazy developers. That's just, I hate to say it. You know what I mean?
Well, we have figured out that these are not the same people that worked on any of the
series.
Arkham games.
However, the guys who are working on the fucking normal Arkham games are jumping to their defense. He was fucking basically saying, like, these guys are having to develop this shit for the Series S, which is basically like a fucking potato, and that all modern games are going to be held back by the Series S and blah, blah, blah. Like, the dude from Rocksteady Games is saying this.
Which I believe makes no sense because there are plenty of games running 60 frames on the Series S. Like, so I don't understand.
But it's still, in a way, he's right. Okay, he's right in the fact that the Series S isn't powerful enough to be like.
It's not going to run fucking
not,
4K. It's not going to run,
But at the same time, it's not powerful enough to like be. You can't expect every game that gets made for Series X and PS5 to come to Series S. It's just not as powerful. You know what I mean?
It's like having a PS4 Pro, but like a little bit more powerful.
I'm just saying, when we get these games eventually, which will come eventually, that are only able to run at 30 frames per second and like the barely running on the Series X and PS5, they're not going to be able to run on the Series S.
No.
And the fucking Xbox is going to have to decide how they're going to handle that, because they've made a commitment to like putting everything that comes to the Series X on the Series S in some way. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
Like,
but why would that prevent them from doing that on the PS5 or on the Series X? Why would that prevent them from having 60 frames? Like, it doesn't make any sense that you would
Series
hold
X?
Yeah, like just have it to scale just the same way you do on PC.
No, I definitely in the instance of Gotham Knights specifically, it doesn't make a difference.
Like, there's no way that it's being held back by one platform. Like, it's like
I think developers are definitely having to like hold back what they do by the one platform, because they have to make it work on the Series S. They can't having it work at 30 frames per second and just having it not work at all are like totally different things. I get that, you know what I mean? But I don't think the Series S is like as capable as it should be. You know what I mean? For a modern generation console. It's basically like a PS4 Pro or a Series X. The Series X fucking was better than the fucking like Series S. I mean, not the Series X. I'm sorry. What's the one that came out? The One X. The Xbox One X
is better than the Series S.
It's technically got more GPU power than the new Series S that just came out.
Oh, damn.
The only thing it doesn't have is like a super fast SSD in it. You know what I mean? But like as far as computing power, like the One X is a more powerful fucking console. Like,
I never compared the two.
Because the One X is made to run things in 4K. You know what I mean? The Series S targets 1440.
It targets specifically 1440. But that's the thing, is like, it's like, okay, have a performance mode, and then fucking make it only available on the Series X and PS5. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that not possible to have a performance mode that only pops up when you have it on that console? If we're still making games for PS4 and Xbox One. Like, why is that not possible? Yet we have like games
it's totally possible. That's why I'm saying with Gotham Knights, it's definitely just a case of the developers not wanting to put
they're just not doing it.
Elbow grease into it. You know,
because Arkham City was an open world game that at the time was 60 frames. Fucking what, 1080?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the multiplayer aspect of it shouldn't affect like anything, you know what I mean? Like, GTA 5 is a massive world that everybody plays in together. Like, I don't feel like the actual like limitations of your hardware should have anything to do with like the multiplayer aspects of it. They're like, oh, the seamless co-op, blah blah blah. That's what affects us. Like, how?
Well,
you know?
I think it has something to do with the fact that the untetheredness of it, that like you don't have to stay in the same area. Like, if you're playing in this open world with each other, you could go to one end of the map while your buddy's on the other end of the map doing shit, and you could be both going into different stories and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Wouldn't hypothetically, though, like both of your consoles be rendering your own worlds, and then you're just linked via the internet? Like,
well, it could be depending on how that world is rendered. You know, if that whole world is rendered as a separate server that both y'all are just joining into. But I don't like on the technical side of this. I don't know near enough to even have like an. Well,
and that's what the lady's saying, is like there's more to it than just this. Yeah. But at the same time,
it's like Elden Ring. Elden Ring didn't have untethered co-op because of the same things, but somebody made a mod and fucking made it happen. You know, so like it's like very interesting.
It's just, I wouldn't even be saying anything if the PC specs weren't so reasonably low. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, it's a little sketch.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Maybe they'll patch it in later. Maybe they'll see that the demand is so high for 60 frames per second that they'll do some sort of patch,
Yeah, just like they'll patch in 4-player co-op. Like, but that's what I'm saying is like the fact that there's not going to be 4-player co-op right at the jump. Like, when are they going to learn? When are these developers going to learn that you can't do this? You can't like put out games and be like, oh, but the thing you're waiting for, it'll be there later.
I mean, they never said it was going to be 4-player co-op. They said it's going to be a co-op campaign, and it is going to be a co-op campaign at launch.
But why even mention it? Like, that's what I'm saying. Why even say it's coming a week later?
Like, well,
if it's coming a week later, then don't put the fucking game out. Wait a week and then put the game out with the fucking shit in it. You know what I'm saying?
I guess, but it's not like
it's a campaign.
It's not like the campaign. Like, you can play the campaign in 2-player co-op
or on your own. But I'm saying it's like
you will never have the option to play 4-player on the main stories campaign.
Is that what it says?
No, yeah, that's what it says. It's its own thing. The 4-player co-op is a different thing altogether. It's not,
that's whack.
It's not like the fucking main campaign. It's like its own set of missions and shit that you can play.
I was thinking it was going to be like actually like untethered 4-player co-op. Like,
no,
in
it
an
is,
open
but it's
world.
like it's a different thing. It's like okay. So you got your main story that you can play with a buddy all the way through, and then like it's like the Ghost of Tsushima thing where you can like go like the Legends thing with the co-op there. Like it's like I think it said there's 29 missions or something. Like it's a bunch of stuff you can do. But look, it says Heroic Assault will feature 30 levels of enemies and objectives for up to 4 players to challenge. Joining the game's 2-player co-op story mode. Yeah, it's just a different mode.
I was thinking they just meant the co-op with 4 players was coming, and I was no, that's bullshit.
No, yeah, it's always been a 2-player like co-op experience, but you can pick out of 4 characters to play from.
I don't give a fuck at that point. Then I just thought I was getting pissed because I thought they were like, oh yeah, but the co-op, yeah, we'll throw that in, like what they did with fucking Halo. Like, it's like
I think they probably intended to add this way later, and it just got finished earlier than they expected. So they're like, hey, by the way, we'll do this now.
Yeah, for sure. So hold on, because we're talking about the multiplayer, might as well bring up some dope news. A new update for Elden Ring has finally separated damage scaling for PvE and PvP, but in a more interesting tease, the data within the patch appears to hint towards new locations and ray tracing technology. As revealed in the version 1.07 patch notes for Elden Ring, damage scaling for PvE and PvP has been separated, which will allow for different weapons and skills to be balanced for each mode individually. In the future, this feature may be used to balance weapons, art, spell, and incantation in invading PvP mode. Publisher Bandai Namco said in a blog post, balance adjustments made within this feature will not impact single-player and cooperative play. So basically, there's that, but nobody gives a fuck about that. What we care about, it's in the updates data, where the most interesting details lie.
Good old data miners.
Yep, data miner Lance McDonald noted on Twitter that, quote, menu strings related to ray tracing features have been added, suggesting that the lighting and reflections tech may be headed to Elden Ring in a future update. Both McDonald and FromSoft content creator Zuli the Witch have also noted that the data includes references to 2 new maps that currently do not exist in Elden Ring's data. Zuli says that their IDs are M20 and M45, and also highlights that the main areas of the game are found on maps M10 to M19, which does point to the newly found M20 potentially being the next main area of Elden Ring.
So like 5 new sections kind of basically or something?
I don't know. It says M20 could be Legacy Dungeon, she said. So I don't know what that means, but
maybe like a Dark Souls throwback or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We get to go fight old bosses and shit with your Elden Ring character.
That could be cool.
That'd be dope.
Honestly,
there's so much multiplayer potential they could do with Elden Ring.
Just give me anything Elden Ring related, Like
I want that Coliseum to open up. Yes. I want to see shit like that.
They could have a whole multiplayer world set up to if they were to do arenas and shit and have tournament brackets and all kinds of shit, man. Or have actually go maybe not go esports with it. That would ruin it, but they could have real competitive play with it.
I wonder if the ray tracing will be able to find its way to consoles, or if that'll be a PC exclusive thing. It's already kind of hard to run.
We'll see how it goes. I'm just excited there's new areas opening up. That's all I care about. Like, give me more map, dude, because I've been needing a reason to go back to the game. You know?
We did have our little 3-player run going there for a while.
Yeah, but it's like you're just kind of repeating what you've already done. That's where it's cool, but it's like
I'm literally on New Game 3. You know what I mean? So like,
it's like open up that map, baby. Give me some new shit. Anyways,
so I've got 2 quick ones here. So the first one regarding Overwatch's player count this week. So Adam Bankhurst over at IGN says Overwatch 2 has reached over 25 million players in its first 10 days, and it's already achieved a daily player base spread near even across EMEA, Asia, and the Americas. That's nearly triple the previous daily player peak from the original Overwatch.
Damn.
Well, no shit.
Triple.
The game went free to play.
Yeah, not surprising.
Yeah, so and then
still crazy though. Triple the fucking like player count. That I think that's a good thing, possibly.
I don't find it surprising at all, just because it went from a $60 game that never saw. I don't think it hardly ever saw like a.
Yeah.
Like a
Didn't
sale.
it go free to play eventually though?
No. Overwatch 1 was never free to play.
Really?
It became free to play when it became Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like you always had to pay for the game in some form or fashion, and freaking Activision keeps their big titles like that at $60. Very occasionally there was a sale, I think.
It'd be interesting to see how much money they're making versus like Overwatch 1. You know what I mean? Despite has so many more people playing it. You know what I mean?
Probably,
there's going to be a lot of money.
I bet they're making more.
They're probably making a lot more. I'm just curious how much more. Because, you know what I mean?
Like you cannot unlock shit in this game. It is fucking ridiculous. Like if you want
to
get
a never-ending
coins,
grind, right?
Oh, it's not even that. Like you would have to play like 10,000 hours to unlock like a skin.
That's why I wasn't a fan of Apex. So I feel like it's hard to fucking unlock stuff.
Yeah.
You know
Apex wasn't that bad, but
well, that's why I like that one game that's like Overwatch, that fucking Paladins game. It's because like if you are willing to grind a little bit, it's not as big of a grind as like the other games like that, and you can actually unlock your characters like without fucking.
Oh, and heroes.
You know.
I think everybody's unlocked right off the bat in this one, and then like you just unlock skins and bullshit.
Okay. Well, then that's all good.
Yeah. So, so last week, or I think it was last week, we were talking about how rough the initial start of Overwatch 2 was and whatnot. So Ryan Dinsdale over at IGN, Blizzard has offered players double XP, a weapon charm, and a free skin to make up for Overwatch 2's rough launch.
Sweet.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, I'm not even, that is what it is.
Nothing wrong with that.
Brent, what you got?
Hold right. Let's see. Oh, okay. The English actor who stars in the hit Bayonetta video game series has asked fans not to buy the latest release in the franchise after revealing that she was offered just $4,000 to reprise the role. In an emotional series of videos posted to social media, Helena Taylor, who has voiced the character of Bayonetta, said she had been replaced in the forthcoming third game in the series because they wrote this weird. Because the proposed fee was an insult. The Bayonetta franchise made an approximate $450 million, Taylor said, and that's not including merchandise. As an actor, I trained for a total of 7.5 years, 3 years at London Music, blah, blah, blah. She goes on and says it's an insult and then asks everybody not to support the game.
Did she disclose what she was paid on the previous roles?
No, she didn't.
I'm curious.
I have seen people say that she only worked for 16 hours on Bayonetta 2, though.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, 16 hours for 14.
That's a lot of money.
That's like $250 an hour, basically, to work as a voice actor. I mean, that's not like she acts like that's a super insulting.
Yeah. She acts like she's doing like hundreds of hours of fucking.
Yeah.
Well, they replaced her with like a
one of Jennifer Hale
is
like a huge deal. Yeah.
So, but that's the thing is like people are saying that they probably wanted to replace her, but they wanted her to leave on her own accord. So they were like
$4,000,
and she was like, "Oh well, I'm not doing that." And they're like, "Okay, cool," and because they paid Jennifer Hill a lot more money than what they were offering her, the $4,000.
But that's basically like hiring the female Troy Baker to come do your, you know what I mean? Like,
which is kind of dumb though, because no one really gives a fuck about Bayonetta's voice. Like, I don't even know what she sounds like.
No.
Like, I don't think people who play those games know what she sounds like.
Well, isn't there like a weird niche of like fans of that game?
Yeah, but no one's like, dude, her voice. Like, I gotta fucking hear this lady. I bet you this is the first time anybody's ever heard of this woman. Like, so honestly, I get it. I get like, oh man, $4,000, but for how many hours she would have been working, probably from home, like just recording her voice, and then she
also,
can be
that
like,
looks great on your resume.
that's what I'm saying.
You know?
I worked on Bayonetta 3. I was the protagonist. I was Bayonetta.
Yeah,
you know?
for every Bayonetta game. I feel like that alone, I get it though,
It's hard to take a side, but the guy, like the creator of the game, the guy who's like super popular because of the creation of the Bayonetta games, he got like fucking just like ran off of Twitter. They basically like attacked him. Like the entire community of Twitter tried to rip him to shreds, and like he was like blocking everybody on there. And then like I was following this as it was happening just because it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
And he was like repeating. He's like, do not message, do not say anything to me or I'll block you or whatever, like in Japanese, and like would translate it to English, like using Google Translate. And like everybody's like, how about you fucking pay your employees, bitch? And like everybody's just going nuts on this dude. And he like deleted his Twitter, and then he came back like the next day, and he was like, I understand why people will disable their Twitters, like it is very relieving. And everyone's like, yeah, we'll fucking delete it again. like, holy shit.
I can't fucking stand Twitter.
I know, dude. They just they like wait. They're like a bunch of people with pitchforks, like just waiting for the next thing to yell at. It's like in that SpongeBob episode where they're like, get the lifeguard, like for no reason. Let's tip something over.
Gosh.
It's very interesting, and I'm sure that guy is having like the worst like mental health crisis right now because like he probably sees this and like sees his millions of like Twitter followers just like turn on him like a fucking plague. But it is what it is. I guess he should have paid her or whatever, but like
I don't think the people who play Bayonetta are gonna stop playing Bayonetta over this. You know what
also,
I mean?
like, what about all the people but say you don't like that guy. What about all the developers that worked on this game and like that's how they
that
get
are just
paid?
totally innocent?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes no sense for her. She honestly shouldn't have said don't support the game. She should have said like don't support this guy. Like the person who offered me the low ball. Like it's just wrong to say like, oh, yo, fuck this game that all these people worked on because of me. I'm the special one here. Like I get it. But it's just...
Well, it's also fucking business.
It's business,
like,
yeah.
She had it's not like she got screwed into taking a low pay. Yeah, she might got screwed out of a role, but she wasn't done in any nefarious way. Like, it's at the end of the day, it's just business. And she had the choice to say yes or no to that.
Correct.
Because, like Jamel said, they probably wanted that other girl to voice it. And
if she would have took the 4,000, she'd be voicing it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just fucking business. And a lot of these fucks on Twitter just have no inclination of any kind of business doings at all, and just like to be, self-righteous and scream about shit.
Yeah. But also, it's like she could just go get another job. Like she could voice anything. She's been Bayonetta. Like also, I'm sure she's voice acted in so many other things that we don't know about just because. We don't give a fuck to look
maybe
this
she
up.
hasn't because the 16 hours of Bayonetta was
no, dude, she totally does. She's got to. But it's like that's the thing is just like people.
It's
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Anyways, was that you, Brent?
Yes.
You did the Bayonetta shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so G4 TV's revival is unfortunately coming to an end.
Oh, this is sad.
Less than a year after
so
it relaunched.
sad.
What did they launch through? Was it just like a...
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
and that was my thing too, because like
it was on Comcast. It says as Comcast is pulling the play. Also, they had a YouTube channel, which they're going to stop the YouTube channel.
So were they a channel on Comcast?
Yeah, they were a channel on
well,
Comcast and then had a YouTube channel.
That's what they fucked up. They should have signed with some streamer. Like some streaming platform.
Well, YouTube. That's it. I mean, they were on YouTube. They just nobody watches their YouTube videos. Especially they had like this girl. There's like this girl. Her name was like Frost or something. I always forget her name, but she like went on this fucking tirade and like basically told everybody to quit watching their shit. Like like out of nowhere, she just went on this political tirade and like told every like person who was watching, like, we don't need you, blah 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 blah. And so after that, their fucking YouTube views went from like hundreds of thousands down to like 30,000 a video from that point forward. She basically like single-handedly fucked G4. And like,
oh, I bet she got sued for that one.
No, like they're all like standing behind her, and then like a couple people got fired.
See, they don't understand business.
No,
they just should have had only Adam Sessler.
Yeah,
and
that's
nothing
it.
else.
So as Comcast is pulling the plug on the network behind such series as X-Play, Attack of the Show, and more. As reported by Deadline, Comcast Spectator Chairman and CEO Dave Scott penned a letter to all employees saying G4 is being discontinued immediately. Team, as you know, G4 was reintroduced last year to tap into the popularity of gaming, Scott wrote. We invested to create the new G4 as an online and TV destination for fans to be entertained, be inspired, and connect with gaming content. Over the past several months, we worked hard to generate that interest in G4, but viewership is low and the network has not achieved sustainable financial results. This is certainly not what we hoped for. And as a result, we have made the very difficult decision to discontinue G4's operations effective immediately.
No.
I know this is disappointing news, and I'm disappointed too. I want to thank you and everyone of the G4 team for the hard work and commitment to the network. Our human resources team is reaching out to you to provide you with support, discuss other opportunities that may be available, and answer any questions you may have. So, yeah, that's apparently what happened. Bad
So,
time.
Was all of their content that aired on the channel on the YouTube?
I don't know.
Because,
no, I think the shows happened on the TV channel. And then all of their game reviews
clips
and
everything
stuff
went to YouTube.
Not clips, like they did actual like full game reviews, and they had Gerard from the Completionist like YouTube channel. He was on there, like a couple others.
It was actually pretty good. Like some of the stuff was pretty decent content.
I
on
think it was
YouTube
good
or
content.
on the channel?
YouTube.
I've never watched that.
Well, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they shot themselves in the foot going with a fucking TV channel. Like, nobody has cable anymore.
Yeah,
like
at
that
least
is
not
a known
fucking people, their target audience.
Yeah, I was about to say any gamers and stuff. Like, people our age and younger, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit older, but like we were really like our generation, our age, like or people around 30, like they were the straw, like gamed their asses off.
See, like the first comment in the IGN article is quotes, "Don't like it, then don't watch it. Heard you loud and clear, Frost." That's the person that like said that. She's like, "If you don't like us, then don't watch us." Like went on this whole thing. And so like, it's like, damn, bro, that sucks. And I just remember like I was watching on Twitter because like a month ago they fired or laid off like 3 or 4 people because they couldn't afford to pay them. And she was like, she like posted and she was like, well, she's like, I still got my job. I can sleep good or something like that. And everybody was like, yo, bitch.
This lady just sounds unpleasant.
She was very unpleasant. Like, it's like, how do people like this get into the industry and like get hired?
God dang.
Like,
even if you don't like those people, it's like, have some class.
Yeah, be a people person.
Like, god dang.
But
I mean, there's a difference between being like cutthroat and just being a prick.
Yeah.
That's.
Anyways.
So, Starfield dialogue trees revealed in a new video.
Oh, okay.
Boy, Logan Plan over at IGN.
How's it looking?
Well, apparently there's a fucking lot.
Did you watch the video? Or?
No. I didn't realize there was even a video attached with this. So dialogue choices are a huge part of any great Bethesda RPG. So fans have been wondering what kind of system the developer would implement in Starfield. Now, thanks to a new video from Bethesda, director Todd Howard has shared some details of what to expect in your conversations in Starfield's star system.
Cool.
What
do we got?
So we've gone back to kind of a classic Bethesda-style dialogue system, Howard said. You're looking at the characters and how they emote. You have a series of choices there. Howard also talked about the persuasion system, saying players will spend points to persuade characters to get what they want. The example shown had 4 different dialogue options on screen, with each one costing a different amount of points. The +1 option was passive, with the +5 option being very aggressive. This lines up with what we'd previously heard when Bethesda said Oblivion's dialogue minigame was an inspiration for in Starfield. So Starfield will have more branching dialogue paths than any previous Bethesda game. Howard also spoke to the volume of content, saying the team worked to make sure depth was still present in conversations, even though there are so many of them. The scope of the game, the amount of content we're making is a bit more than we've done before in terms of quests and things like that, Howard said. But the depth in some of the stuff with the dialogues, we just passed 250,000 lines.
Yeah, I've seen that's like double fucking Skyrim or something, triple Skyrim or something like that. It's ridiculous.
So that's a lot of dialogue, but we've gone through it, and the impact is really there.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people complain like about Skyrim's like dialogue options. Like they said it got a little too like, what's the word for it? I guess like easy,
monotonous.
No, just like it wasn't like as in depth and stuff as like previous games like Oblivion or Morrowind. And so like the further they went, the less like complex they made the systems. Like just to make it more like what's the word for it? Like I guess accessible for people. And so with this one, they're going back to like, all right, we're going deep as fuck with this the dialogues and trying to make it like just feel like an older game in that way.
Yeah, so for comparison, or real quick, just because we were talking about, for comparison, Bethesda said Skyrim has had about 60,000 lines of dialogue and Fallout 4 had 111. So Starfield's
250.
Yeah, 250.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. I think, honestly, like, as far as dialogue choices and persuasion systems and stuff, I think my favorite has been like the Fallout 3 type style.
Same.
Where you see everything and you're leveling up your persuasion, so it helps with that. I don't know. I like the dialogue choices in Fallout 3 a lot, you know?
Yeah.
4 was a little more like Mass Effect-y with like the wheel or whatever that you chose from. I don't know. It wasn't, or however you, I can't even remember, but it wasn't like a typical Fallout, like, or it wasn't like a typical Bethesda choosing experience, was it?
No.
Or am I tripping? Hang on, maybe I need to
I don't remember it being weird like that.
Hang on, let me look again.
It was just way less complex. Like I remember it being like, I feel like Fallout 4 you didn't have as many options like whenever it came to like,
if I remember thinking like the dialogue felt simplified somehow,
yes,
but I could be tripping.
But
maybe I need to play Fallout 4 again.
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
That was one of the major reasons why people complained about Fallout 4 was because of the dialogue.
Just dry dialogue.
Yeah,
I liked the dialogue. I just didn't like the way you choose the fucking
options,
dialogue. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it felt weird. Like I don't know how to explain it.
I don't know. My last experience with Fallout 4 was in VR, like the last several times, and it's been freaking how many years? How long ago was Fallout 4?
Yeah, so Fallout 4 had the thing where you get 4 options for your dialogue, and it's all corresponding to like a button, and you can pick which button you want to pick for your 4 options. But like Fallout 3 would have like a list of options.
Yeah,
like,
and you
just could actually scroll down and pick some. But
I never realized that.
Brent, it's you.
It's me.
It's you.
Okay.
It's you.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over everything announced at the Meta Connect thing.
No.
Money.
No.
Well, I said. Wait, we didn't talk about that last week?
I don't think so.
No,
I think that just happened, right? Hold up, I gotta bring.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I called you and talked about. I completely forgot that was. Yeah.
So first of all, they announced the Meta Quest Pro. It's gonna be $1,500.
Cheap.
Reasonable. Yeah.
I could do it.
But it does look pretty cool, I guess. You know, it's got full color pass through and pancake lenses. My problem with this is that a lot of these features that they're flaunting are features that are on the Pico 4, which is like a new headset that just came out in Europe and China and stuff. And it's got pancake lenses, full color pass through, and like the same resolution, like a little better resolution than the Quest, and like it's fucking really good. And it's only $400. You know what I mean? But apparently, if you want, you can buy the fucking controllers for the Quest Pro by themselves, and I think they're compatible with the Quest 2.
I wonder how much they're gonna be.
$300. Yeah.
You could buy a whole Quest for that.
Yeah.
But
honestly,
man, that would be because I've been looking up several different ways to set up 360 tracking.
Mm-hmm.
And that would actually be cheaper than
lighthouses.
Yeah, most of the ways that I looked up.
Yeah.
That could
and they would definitely be cool for gaming, you know. And not only would it be cool for like the 360 degree tracking, but when you're like trying to reload and stuff, you could really like you know.
Oh yeah, they're
get
so
in
low
there.
profile. Yeah, because
there's
it's just
no
like,
ring or anything.
Yeah, they're just like little bitty control. Yeah, I like that too. Like that, the low profileness of it is.
That was my
gonna be better.
favorite thing about the PlayStation VR controllers is like there wasn't some kind of big like circular thing.
But didn't you have a big ball at the end?
Yeah, but
there?
it's weird because you didn't ever hit the balls together.
Really?
Like when you were like reload
Don't
and
hit the
stuff,
balls.
it just felt right. Like and also
Yeah.
how straight it was when you're playing like sword games or lightsaber games and shit. Like it
I
felt
bet
like
that
you were
felt-
holding
yeah.
it in your hand. Like it was great.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But yeah,
But it
so,
has AR. It has augmented reality. It's gonna have augmented reality and virtual reality. It's a lot sleeker design. There's a battery
it's
in
got
the
like
headband.
independent screens instead of like one screen. It's got 2 panels, like one per each eye. It's still got an LCD screen, which is bullshit, but apparently it's going to have a way better contrast and stuff.
I was looking into that because we had the conversation the other day about how we like the OLED screens.
Yeah.
And the reason that a lot of these headsets are going LCD is apparently you can get the clusters much closer together to achieve the higher resolutions in a smaller scale. That was the explanation that I found time and time again as to why all these VR headsets, because apparently even Valve's headset is LCD.
Yeah, but
and
you can still see the washed out like grays.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much of a difference it makes. Honestly, I'll take a lower resolution with fucking,
truer
blacks any day. And like fucking PSVR is coming out. PSVR 2 is coming out with the OLED.
Did we look it up? Does it have OLED?
Yeah. Not only does it have OLED, but it's got a super high resolution. So I don't know if that like debunks the high resolution OLED.
That was
theory,
just the
but,
excuse
like,
that I found as to why they were sticking or going with LCD. It was the clusters and them being able to pack them in tighter into having to where you can have 2K resolution or 2K screen, because 2K just talks about the pixel density in a little bitty screen basically, or in a small size.
PlayStation figured it out, so these motherfuckers need to figure it out too.
I think this whole thing, I think the Pro or whatever is honestly just their first step into whatever the metaverse bullshit is going to be. The reason why it's got the augmented reality and the like the full color pass through and all that shit, I think is because they're going to start trying to at least experiment with some of the metaverse stuff that they're trying to create.
Well, yeah, this is all for fucking businesses. This is for people trying to like have business conferences across the world.
Virtual
with each other,
virtual
you know what I mean?
conferences.
And I doubt they're worried about whether it's OLED or LCD. Like they just want these people to be able to see. Like,
but
I'm saying, like, I definitely think that the people consuming this don't realize they want OLED because they haven't consumed a product with OLED. Like, I think it's one of those things that like Facebook needs to be thinking about, because they're the ones making this super high-end product, and it's something that they could do that would make it better. I mean, at this
it'd
point,
be more expensive though.
Yeah, but you're already fucking not like fuck it, At this point, making an extra $100.
So there's a drop of water to a drowning man.
Yeah,
like,
fucking hey, like goddamn, it's like my luxury yacht's gonna be like a little more expensive, like.
But then again, they. With it being more work or oriented towards work and everything, like they might not be ever seeing dark scenes like that. Like at most they'll see a load screen that's black, but
I'm just saying, if I'm paying $1,600 for a fucking headset, I want to be able to play games on it in the highest fucking quality.
If you buy it,
yeah,
but it's not for you.
This isn't made for
no,
us.
but this is for fucking so.
Say you're at work, they don't want you playing games. They want you to like fucking talk to Mr. Jim.
It doesn't matter what they
HR.
want.
Virtual,
this isn't made by your boss. This is made for you to have the best fucking headset you can have. Like I said, if I'm paying $1,500 for a headset, I want to be able to do everything I do on it in the best possible quality. Fuck that, dude.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but
I don't care if it's just for work. Like, I still want to have the best possible experience when I have my headset on.
But
you know what I mean?
business or an employer doesn't give a fuck about that. They just want it to be able to do whatever utility is needed.
Yeah, okay, but this isn't made by your employer. This is made by
it's
Facebook,
made for your employer,
giving you the best possible headset you can get. You know what I mean? That's the concept here. You're not selling a $1,500 fucking VR headset as something that's not the best possible experience. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's okay.
This needs to be as good as possible for the price. You know what I mean? And like, it's not.
I think it's selling for whatever the price is. You get what I'm saying? It's like if it was being sold for gaming, then sure, yeah, fucking throw all that shit in there.
Who's to say
But-
it's not being sold for gaming?
Meta said it's not being sold for gaming.
Mark Zuckerberg said this is for businesses and people who want the best possible gaming experience. Literally verbatim out of his fucking mouth.
Okay,
during
so
the
if he said the
presentation.
best possible gaming, then sure. Okay, but I was
functionally is no different than a fucking Quest. Like, you can use it like just like a fucking Quest if you want to, and people are going to be buying this so they can have a better wireless gaming experience. Like, there are going to be gaming enthusiasts that buy this. It's not just like a business people.
Well, maybe not if they see that it's LCD and all that shit. Then they might not buy it. So
I mean, it's still going to be probably the best wireless experience you can get, and there
True.
are people that are going to drop that money for the gaming experience, and it's going to be a huge chunk of their consumers. Like, it's not just going to be a business. It's made for business, yes, but like, there are business people who buy this that are going to want to play games in their free time, and they're not going to want to have to switch their fucking index, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the fuck other thing they have, you know, like, and that's the thing, like, you're charging so much more than the fucking index, which already has like super good controllers and shit, you know what I mean, like, it's just,
but it's tethered, right? You know, so it's like,
but at the same time, it's like, you could get a 5 Pro and the fucking wireless adapter for it, and it would still be fucking significantly cheaper. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just not good enough.
Well, besides all of that, though, even the screens aside, like the 2-hour battery life.
Yeah, 2 hour battery life.
1 to 2 hours.
One to 2 hours.
Two hours on the plus side of things.
How the fuck is anybody going to be productive and get any work done?
That's what
with
I'm
that,
saying.
That short of a
You're
battery
gonna have
life?
to be tethered, you know, which is not really doable because it ships with a dock instead of a fucking cord. So you're not.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to buy an extra cord to fucking plug it into. I don't know. There's a lot of problems I have with the Quest Pro.
And the 2 articles that I have after this, after you get done with the MetaConnect, go into the bad week that they've had because of all this shit.
I mean,
what else
there
we
are
got?
good things about the Quest Pro. It's just like too expensive, really, for what it is. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean?
What were some of the other like things they announced though besides this? Or was that it?
So Quest Pro, obviously, and then they said that Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to the Quest pretty soon. So you'll be able to play your Game Pass games.
That's pretty tight.
On like a native Quest screen. App, yeah. And they mentioned like, imagine playing games with your friends on the Xbox. So like, I think it's gonna be like a social thing too, where you can like hang out in VR with
split
people.
Screen?
Yeah, and like play games
so
together,
cool.
you know, which is pretty cool. Or
neat.
theoretically, like me and you could join a like game together, right? And we could both have our like Forza screen side by side, like playing the game in the same room together.
Just be like chilling.
Yeah,
that'll be cool.
I think it has a lot of potential.
And you look like your little like Xbox avatar.
No, you look like your fucking. You look like your little meta
Facebook,
avatar.
Yeah. And then they got Among Us VR got a November release date, so that should be coming out next month for $9.99. Probably a lot of fun. The Marvel's Iron Man, which was previously a PlayStation exclusive, is coming to Quest 2 next month on November 3rd.
Good.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. We spoke this into existence like a couple days ago.
All right, we got to start talking about some other things. We're going to win the lottery.
One of us.
Right, for real. But yeah, so that's coming. I hope it's good. I mean, I've played it, but like, I hope it holds up. Like, I saw some trailers, and like, it looks like they've like dumbed the graphics down for the Quest.
I did notice that it did not look that good. Whatever I saw, but all it was just like, it was like a cut across his face, and then he was just like talking, and then he just like puts his hands out. There's no world. It doesn't show anything. It just shows the character.
My problem with it is like, it comes down to what the problem is with most PSVR versus Quest games. Like on PSVR, you have like awesome like textures and stuff, like on all the stuff in the environment, but the resolution is really low. On Quest, you have a super high resolution with like shitty textures.
Yeah, it just looks like Fortnite.
So
like everything looks like bare, or like an iPhone game almost. Like it's like everything's smooth.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
all right.
You get a lot of that. From what I've seen, that's kind of how it's looking, so I don't know how I feel about that. 3 studios join Oculus Studios, including Resident Evil 4 developer, so that's exciting. You got a couple of new people coming over there. They said Camouflage Team, Twisted Pixel, and Armature Studios are all joining Oculus Studios, so that's pretty cool. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 comes December 1st. And a new project from the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners people called Behemoth is coming. And it looked pretty cool. I mean, it didn't say anything about the game, but,
sounds like
Saints and Sinners
like
guys.
a boss fight.
Yeah, it looks like the trailer showed this big world, and it, panned around the world, and then it showed some dude on, an icy hill. So it makes me think it's going to be some sort of, open world type thing.
Some mountain climbing, zombie fighting.
Maybe. I don't know. It'd be cool. Population 1 Sandbox brings user-generated content to VR Battle Royale. So Population 1 is basically making it to where you can make user-generated content and then, join in other people's worlds and stuff and play, Fortnite-style Battle Royales in their world or whatever.
I could never get into Pop 1.
Yeah, I loved Pop 1. It was my favorite game for a long time. Quest 2 Active Pack coming later this month. If you like to work out in VR, you know that your headset can get nice and gross. This Active Pack will fix that. So it's going to be a bunch of shit that will keep your headset from getting disgusting and
swappable,
it's got
face bands.
Yeah, it's
or
got
whatever.
face things, and it's got
take them off and wash them.
straps. You can strap your controllers onto your hands so they don't fly off. You know what I mean? Peacock is getting an app coming to the Quest, and that's it. So
what was the stuff about the legs like?
Oh, the avatars are eventually going to have legs.
No, but he was talking about the movement with them. They were working on some kind of technology to make the legs
It's
move.
literally just the avatars are getting legs.
Yeah, and
in
figuring
Horizon.
out a way to make it not look weird, because if people see their limbs in the wrong places, it's disorienting or something like that.
What?
It's
Yeah.
he's just
Bunch
saying
of
it's
VR.
hard to make VR legs, and I have seen some janky VR legs, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't
See,
know.
I thought they were talking about some more interesting stuff.
No.
No,
Okay,
not at
well, that's
all.
why.
It was a very passive conversation with one of the lead developers.
Honestly,
during the
they talk
Quest
about the
thing.
fucking avatars for Oculus, but that shit is fucking gonna be dead in the next
Well, that's
the fuck the avatars, bro. Fucking first of all, Horizons, which is Facebook's flagship app, is probably the worst fucking social.
well,
app.
I've got an article that's
Yeah,
gonna
go into it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So one of the one of the main ways it seems Zuckerberg and Meta hope consumers will use their VR headsets is within Horizon Worlds, the company's virtual reality software that uses avatars in an attempt to digitally replicate in-person interactions. You may know Horizon Worlds from its most viral moment this past summer when Zuckerberg posted a selfie of his digital avatar standing in front of a very low texture rendition of the Eiffel Tower. Folks on the internet weren't shy about bashing the visuals of the Horizon Worlds avatars. A fellow named Christopher Hooks on Twitter said this looks like a 2002 Nintendo GameCube release called World Baby. And it's, dude, I mean, the picture is bad.
it's hilariously bad, but it's also hilarious how much misinformation is surrounding this game, because this is just one game that Facebook has made, and everybody seems to think that this is the metaverse. Everybody's looking at this see how shitty the metaverse is, and they hold up a screenshot from Horizon. I'm like this is just one really bad game on Oculus.
Meta needs to stop pushing Horizons so hard and really start bringing in the cool shit.
They just need to fucking just completely kill Horizons. They need to buy VR chat or something instead. Fuck Horizons.
I mean, that's what they're trying to do is VR chat, but VR chat has already been at it for so long.
VR chat is good, and then Rec Room is literally Horizons, but 10 times
it's
better.
a kid-friendly VR.
Yeah,
Rec Room would be a kid-friendly VR chat.
Which they would have to, if they bought VR chat, they'd have to
some
make
of those
it
kids aren't
kid-friendly.
kid-friendly.
I'm talking about the content that can be put in there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, they would have to. That's the problem. If they bought one of those, then they would basically destroy the population inside of those games, because they would put restrictions on what you couldn't do, because you couldn't just have a bunch of furries running around.
Like fucking Devin just said, Rec Room is already kind of generated to be a kid-friendly experience. So that's one you could buy.
It's it's like a social,
and it's just got a better architecture. Horizons feels janky when you're playing it.
I haven't even played it
it's
because
stupid.
anytime I looked at a video of it, I was like, I'm not even going to waste
Just
my fucking
imagine
time.
bad Rec Room. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, that's all it is. There's another one that's even, like, Alt Space or something. Like, that's better than Horizon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I don't know.
So this apparently led Meta to scramble as the New York Times reports employees worked to create a new, higher quality version of Zuckerberg's avatar on an accelerated timeline.
They just need to create a higher version of
Horizons,
Horizon.
yeah. So we then saw Zuckerberg himself present the updated avatars during this week's Meta Connect event. If Meta's true goal with the Quest Pro is work productivity, then there's currently a big problem. According to a separate report from The Verge last week, it seems not even the teams within Meta directly working on the metaverse enjoy using the VR workspace.
But see, okay, then again, that's the problem with the information that's getting out. It's articles like that are like saying the team's working on the metaverse, that are talking about the team working on Horizon. Like, that is a big...
Well, what's a VR workspace? What are they
Well,
talking
I don't know.
about?
Yeah, this was separate from Horizon. This
Yeah,
wasn't.
Oh,
This
okay.
He's
Yeah.
talking about the actual metaverse stuff that he's talking about for
but
offices.
like the avatars will be used in Horizons that are also going to be used in this VR workspace.
I think that's the thing they're talking. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, so in a memo to employees from Meta's VP of Metaverse, Vishal Shah, the executive wrote, "For many of us, we don't spend that much time in her." Okay, it's both. It's okay for many of us. We don't spend that much time in Horizon, and our dog fooding dashboards show this pretty clearly. Why is that? Why don't we love the product we built so much? We built so much that we use it all the time. The simple truth is, if we don't love it, how can we expect our users to love it?
What's up,
Well,
Chris?
it's true.
No, that's facts. You know.
Yeah, it's like, see, that's my thing is like, it's just it's like, first off, then fix that shit. Like, if y'all don't like it, fix it. Like, you're the ones fucking making it. What are you talking about? Why are you going to the media and making fucking articles about shit like, oh yeah, our shit sucks, man? It's
and
like,
that's the problem.
Well,
You can tell there's no passion behind it.
Yeah.
Like when you play it, it feels like soulless compared to other social experiences.
Well, it
You know
could
what I mean?
just be an issue of like just the orders that are handed down to these developers. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It could be as
Like,
simple as that because
They're
I know.
just developers on a payroll, not making what they want to make.
Yeah,
you
and
know what I mean?
Zuckerberg's
Like,
probably got his hands pretty deep in there. He's got like a very specific vision, it seems, for a lot of the shit that they're doing.
the problem is that dude seems actually very passionate about it. I think he just doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he seems like,
I think he just needs teams of people that share his passion.
Yes.
And the problem is like finding a team of people that share that passion. I think you need to go to a development team that's already passionate about VR, you know, not make a development team.
I mean, he's
about,
making good calls on these teams to buy, like,
yeah.
for games and
no, that's
whatnot.
a great idea.
But it's like,
but for your own like workspace apps and
Yeah.
stuff, like that's like those are the apps that need to have the kind of soul that bring people into it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
I honestly think he needs to go to like, he needs to start like poaching people from whatchamacallit, from Apple. Like people who have like good design ethic and like who
Aesthetic.
know how to make, like they know how to make things look and feel good, and like bring them over to work with the developers to come up with like something sleek that everybody will like in the VR, space.
So I think Chris said the new Saints Row kind of sucks. Yeah, I've heard it more than kind of sucks. Like there's
I
a
almost
lot of
bought
bad.
it. I'm really glad I didn't. Like whenever I'm
yeah.
a sucker for buying new games just because I like just new shit.
Giving
I don't
him
know,
the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but like I was this close to buying that shit and I did not.
I watched one video and it showed some of the physics in that game, and I was like, "Geez."
Look, I can get past some janky physics or
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
But is the game good?
yeah, like if it's a fun game, I'll have fun with it. But
It looked redundant. It looked like a game that came out in 2010. It just looks old. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. To me, it still looks like something I would probably play through once and like have a laugh. But like, I don't think I would like go back to it or anything. But I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
So I got both copies and they suck.
both.
Well, if you want to sell one to me on the cheap
sell someone to be bad.
get a little bit of your money back,
Hold on. So there's more to come with this this article though about the bad shit at Meta. So in the New York Times report, multiple employees apparently rushed to buy their own VR headsets after management insisted they held meetings inside Meta's Horizon Workrooms app. This suggests that if Meta has
How are
any
you gonna
serious,
not have your own VR headset working at fucking Meta, dog?
why don't you
Like,
just why don't they-
Also,
Yeah,
it's like
give them headsets, dog. Make it part of your like thing you give your employees. Like, come on.
also the fact that they said it in like they insisted that we work inside. It's like, well, fuck yeah, you're building that. You should be in it all the time, like trying to figure. What do you mean? That's your job. Like
that's why we need VR developers developing this shit. You know, we need to get like the executives from VR companies and bring them in. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I had to use our product
for what it's intended for.
They just insist that we go to work. Like it's like fucking crazy,
but
bro.
Like not because we could be at home fucking chilling, like, you know,
working in VR. Like I don't know who these people are. That they need to stop talking. Like it's looking bad.
Yeah. So this memo, coupled with Meta's reported hiring freeze and potential layoffs, has apparently generated some enthusiasm for the metaverse from Meta's employees. Yeah, I bet. According to the New York Times, more employees have started to have meetings in Horizon workrooms when it works. Earlier this year, one notable meeting was hampered by technical issues, causing the employees to redirect the meeting to Zoom, according to an employee that spoke to the New York Times.
I mean, that's just going to happen. You're making,
you know,
that's
even
not news.
But see, here's the thing.
But
like, the companies that are using, the Oculus for fucking, like, work aren't using Horizon. They're using different apps. Like, it said on the, like, Quest thing, he had this whole presentation about this lady who uses her business and like all her business meetings are conducted in VR and blah blah blah. She's using some weird app that started with an A. I can't remember what it was. It was called like Alcove or something weird like that. But it's like it's not Horizon that she's using, and I'm assuming most people who practically use this for business aren't using Horizon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is that he wants to build this giant connected. Like
VR
you take
internet.
your avatar to everything. Like it's not just like there's no separation. It's like you go to your workspace, you walk out virtually and go to your fucking non-workspace, play some games. You go back to your virtual home, do some dumb shit there. Like
he wants to be like the first like VR web browser basically.
Yeah.
And based
and I feel
with
that.
Meta.
I respect that. I just think most people don't get that vision. You know?
No, it's hard to explain that to someone who's never been in VR. One and two, even if you've been in VR, it's hard to explain
grasp
that.
it, yeah.
It's like, so until it's done, let's all just shut the fuck up and wait. Like everybody's just like, it's not gonna work. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like it's never been done before.
Yeah.
How are you? It's just not gonna work.
That's like I'm sure people were saying that about the internet before it was fucking invented, or cell phones, or any great technology.
Why don't we just
that
keep
changed our
sending
lives?
mail through the
We
letters?
got horses. Why do we need these fucking cars?
So
it's so dumb to me. Like I'm like, bro, we have been to the moon. Shut the fuck up. We can figure out a virtual reality. Like it's not that. Like we've had VR since the fucking like 90s. You know, like it's about time we start doing shit with it.
And then my other favorite one is like, and everybody's gonna waste their lives. It's like literally we're just doing this for work. It's like, am I wasting my life less in a fucking headset than I am behind a counter at a fucking store?
People
you know
are gonna
what I mean?
People are gonna waste their lives how they see.
Yeah. Also with pass through, and like, you know, as it gets, the technology gets better and better to the point to where you just have VR and it's like fucking glasses, you know, like 20 years from now, like you can literally just be walking around outside and
have your AR
you're
going.
seeing through it. You're not like, it's not like you have the VR going constantly.
I saw a thing where Facebook and UFC are going to team up pretty soon where you can do VR, where you can watch like VR ringside fights, which
That'll
I'm
be tight.
excited about.
It's going to open up like a lot of things to people who can't afford shit. You know, like I think people don't understand that. It's like, yo, you want to go to When We Were Young Fest, but you can't afford to fucking fly there? Pay $20 for a VR, you know, like stage side seat to like whichever show you want to watch, you know, and you're there. Like maybe you're not somebody who likes to be in mosh pits or whatever, but you want to see the live.
Well, the cool
thing
thing about VR is you can have other people in VR in the same space, and you can still have the social experience.
Yeah, you're still
of
hanging
going
out
to one of these places. You know, like you can still talk about what's going on. Like that's what, like, okay, so with the fight thing, that's one of the things I'm excited about with the Facebook like version of the 3D fights, because I whenever they do the fights, sometimes I'll go on the big screen VR, which is basically like a movie theater that like a bunch of people sit in VR, and like people will stream the fights on there, and watching those fights with people is a lot of fun. I can only imagine like a 3D, like you're in the arena kind of thing,
like an augmented space instead of just a 360 camera angle of it.
Some of those 180 videos are really high quality. I mean, it really gives you the feeling that you're just like there, you know.
Yeah, And the more that it becomes a prevalent thing, the more that the shows are going to cater to the VR experience as well. So like you might be watching a fight and they have like some shit going off on the side specifically for the VR people watching, like to where, it's just like some cool shit like that they throw in there that you can only experience through VR. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's like people just have to have the passion and the foresight to see that this is only the very, very beginning. We're at Pong right now, like of VR. And like everybody's like, no, dude, it's just not possible. It's just not fucking possible.
Just the amount of like growth that VR has had in the last like 2 years is just
insane.
It's been
especially
when
it comes to price. Like,
oh yeah, it's so affordable, or not? Like it's so much more affordable to get into these days than it was.
Yeah.
Like
a VR headset in the '90s was like $20,000.
Well, and it was like, shit.
A VR headset in 2005 was or 2007 or whatever was fucking like several $1,000s plus the $1,000 PC. Now you can have just as good of an experience on a fucking Quest, with just the Quest. You know, like
as the technology gets cheaper and smaller, that's when shit takes off.
I'm just ready for
like phones, man.
I'm just ready for my Ready Player One universe to live in.
It'll be great.
Well, that's what I feel like. That's kind of what Zuckerberg's going for, is a living, existing internet, but entirely in VR.
Yeah, or a giant social media platform.
Or like how Futurama depicts the internet.
Oh yeah,
you remember that episode?
Yeah. I think about that a lot, actually.
I do too.
That's kind of how I imagine the metaverse.
I was gonna say earlier, like that's one of the
That's like the only visual representation I can think of.
Yeah, best illustration that can come to my mind, aside from Ready Player One, like.
Or just like any anime about being in a video game ever. Or it's the future, dude. It's going to happen. But
so real quick to close this out, because this is actually part of my next article dealing with the whole meta shit, but they kind of summed it up pretty good here. It says Meta is also facing criticism from some within the VR industry. Former Oculus CTO John Carmack, who I'm pretty sure is involved with Meta as well, right?
No, he's
former.
Yeah, he sold.
He was with Oculus, and then when Facebook took over fully.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, former Oculus CTO John Carmack said in an interview that the level of Meta's $10 billion loss in the VR and AR department in 2021 made him sick to my stomach thinking about that much money being spent. In a lecture within the metaverse this week, via Ars Technica, Carmack said, "There's a bunch that I'm grumpy about when it comes to Meta's VR hardware and software." Carmack said his vision is to exist in a virtual arena with thousands of avatars milling around, but the technology and number of users is just not high enough for that to be a reality right now. Instead, Carmack was presenting in a nearly empty virtual classroom that was streamed to Facebook as a 2D video.
This is John Carmack.
Yep.
So John Carmack is actually, like, even with him saying that, he's one of the people that are most excited about the possible metaverse.
Yeah, the possibilities of VR.
He's just not liking the way that Facebook is going about it. But my thing is like, it's going to cost billions of dollars to get the world ready for this. Like, I don't think people understand. It's not wasted. It's going towards experimentation and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a little too, I guess, optimistic for the metaverse.
He didn't say the money was wasted. He was like talking about like how
I think John
just
Carmack,
$10 billion being spent in 1 year. Like, that was insane.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he said the world's not ready yet. It's like, well, who's going to make it ready? That's what they're trying to do. And it will be ready 10 years from now.
Maybe a little too fast, though.
No.
I think we're on the right track. I think John Carmack is a brilliant person, and he's a pioneer on the VR front of things. But like, as far as
everything else, technology-wise,
Doom, he made fucking all kinds of shit. But it's like, I feel like it's gonna grow even faster than he realizes. You know what I mean? Like,
he's not a business guy, and like that's the other thing is like he's very robotic and like logistic. I think like it takes a little bit of like nerve and the willingness to risk yourself and money, and like he doesn't seem like a very person, like a risky person. He seems risk adverse, and I think like to do this, it's just like just like Steve Jobs or just like, anybody else who did something that changed the world. It's like you have to be willing to risk lots of money. People are going to call you shitty and not like you and say that, it's not going to happen. And it may not happen. But chances are I'm going with the guy who already changed the world with Facebook.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like,
I think it can be rushed, though. I mean, Horizon Worlds can be a great example of a rushed project. Like, it looks like shit. It plays like shit.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have any heart and soul in it. Like, that's the kind of rush that I'm talking
but
about.
I see it as experimentation. I see it as they were trying it out, figuring out things. I guarantee you they're going to scrap it and try and move on to the next thing. That's the thing. That's the good thing about owning Facebook and having billions upon billions of dollars
resources
that you can just keep throwing at it. And the thing is they're not the only ones going at this. You got to think of all the other companies that are working on VR stuff that they might see and be like, hey, we didn't even have to create that technology. We'll just go buy it off of them. It's going to
welcome
happen.
it to their universe.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Microsoft is implicitly teaming up with Oculus for the cloud gaming too.
Yep.
That really, I feel like it might not be a big deal now, but the concept of Oculus and Xbox working together is like seriously a powerful duo. Like if you could think of a way to like cloud stream No Man's Sky from Game Pass into like the VR version, like where you just boot it up and suddenly you're VR No Man's Sky, you know what I mean? Like that would be next level.
It doesn't even have to be installed. And that's the thing is like, yeah, and Xbox is always down to work with everybody. Like even like Phil Spencer just came out and the head of Xbox was like, we tried to get Game Pass on Sony or on PlayStation, and they denied it. They were just like, no.
I mean, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why. Obviously, it's like, why not? Like it's just like it. More people will play more games on your console. It's like it's not a big deal. But that's what I'm saying. They're always down to work with people. So I think eventually you're going to see a lot more of that shit with VR and Xbox, or not Xbox, but Microsoft in general.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that this potentially leads to what I was talking about several months back when we were talking about how when Microsoft confirmed that there was not going to be a headset for Xbox and PS5, was getting closer to revealing theirs, is like, we could see this turn into eventually maybe not Series X, but maybe the next generation of consoles being able to use virtual or VR headsets.
Yeah. I mean, hypothetically,
that would be badass.
Just in theory, you could Bluetooth the headset to the fucking
Xbox.
You know what I mean? Like,
though you'd be much better off with just fucking plugging a cable into that shit.
But we were talking about like, PS5 is going to have its own VR headset. Like Microsoft is missing out a little bit, but they're basically computers now. If they were to open up a little bit of integration to where you could just use a headset with it, or maybe even lock it specifically to the Quest or Meta or whatever, have a partnership with it, since they're already going to do the Game Pass stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Airlink or something should work fine.
They could run stuff in it. You could get low quality PC VR out of the Series X easily.
Not even low quality.
Yeah,
like it could probably put out real good PC VR.
It's like a 2080 in that bitch.
Yeah. I mean, you could have some.
Hopefully, this is the first step into that.
I mean, the PS5 VR is going to be next level, and it's basically a 2070. Like, it's just the fact that they're going to be utilizing the
whole thing towards it.
You look at Half-Life Alyx, that ran on a fucking 1060, and it's because it's fucking optimized really
not a lot of bloat rendering.
Exactly.
And shit.
And it's one of the most beautiful games. I think a lot of times these VR devs are just like, making their games hard to, or not making their games hard to run on purpose, but like,
they just don't take the time.
They just not optimize it.
Like, but anyways, so some bad news. The director of the Tom Clancy Splinter Cell remake has left Ubisoft after more than 11 years at the company.
Oh, no.
As reported by VGC, David Grivell announced on LinkedIn that he'd be moving on to a new adventure following more than a decade working on Ubisoft games, including Assassin's Creed Unity, Far Cry 5, and most recently Splinter Cell Remake. It's unclear how Grivell's departure will affect the remake's development at Ubisoft Toronto, but he appears to be leaving on good terms, meaning Ubisoft likely had plans for his replacement in place, though a new director is yet to be announced. So I think I don't know if we're gonna get the Splinter Cell game, guys.
Yeah.
It's so depressing.
Yeah, they keep on
They
like.
canceled the fucking
VR.
Oculus one, and then they canceled the fucking.
Well, they haven't canceled this one yet, but I guarantee
it's
you,
not looking good.
there's gonna be
It's just like those fucking movies.
it's gonna be on indefinite hiatus, and then there'll be a reunion tour 10 years from now. So we're just gonna have to wait for that.
So I'm just going to bust these off real quick. Our boy Ryan Dinsdale over at IGN. Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale, the first soldier, shutting down barely barely a year after launch.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
what?
I forgot about that.
We mentioned it like
Forever
super quick,
ago.
yeah, a long time ago, and that was the only word we ever spoke of it.
I
think
straight
on
up
like a
don't
release
even know
day.
what that is. Like,
It's like a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale.
what? That sounds kind of tight. Oh well, I guess I missed
Apparently,
it.
apparently
did-
it was not tight, and it's shutting down.
It's like, do you just run up to like somebody and get into an RPG
They're
battle?
just having like turn-based battles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you get third partied. Somebody just comes up behind you and just like starts battling you on the other side.
Oh,
It's like,
shit.
I'm sure it was not turn-based, but
that would be tight though.
and then my other one, real quick, our boy Dinsdale again. So Obsidian isn't working on a Fallout game, but the CEO would love to. So yeah. So Fallout New Vegas developer Obsidian isn't working on a new Fallout game currently, but its CEO Fergus Urquhart.
They're just fucking with you.
Dude, I swear, Fergus Urquhart.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just gonna
His
call him
parents
Gus.
were having fun.
So Gus says there's not a question about doing one if he was asked. Speaking to DualShockers, Gus said his studio would unquestionably work on a new Fallout game if the opportunity arose, though he doesn't know if Bethesda would ever ask to it.
Yeah, I think that's a
ask it
given. Like
Dyslexic too.
that they're not working on, New Vegas 2 at this point. That's upsetting, but it
That's
is what
such
it
a
is.
missed opportunity.
Yeah.
That's easy money.
Yeah,
Let
man.
Obsidian do their thing, and they will sell stupid copies.
They should have
Use
struck while the
Fallout-
iron's hot, you know?
Well, it's Outer Worlds is what they're working on, so it's like, fuck it. We'll get Outer Worlds 2, which is supposedly going to be like what they wanted Outer Worlds 1 to be, like, but it was like kind of stuck behind like limited budget and stuff.
Yeah.
So now maybe this will be the New Vegas that we've been wanting. You
I
know?
like the first one, so hopefully the second one's,
better.
even better.
Yeah, like the first one was good. I give it like a 7.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a masterpiece, but it was like
Yeah.
a solid game. I played it all the way through and enjoyed every minute of it,
Yeah.
So
Very small though. It was such
Yeah.
a small game. Like I don't
it's
know. How
really
to
the only
explain it.
problem with it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
is
for
it-
being a space game, space exploration, going to a couple different
Yeah.
planets, it seemed
the
very
maps
small.
weren't very like it felt
Yeah.
like it had like smaller maps than Mass Effect Andromeda, which
Yeah,
you know what
which
I mean.
was bad.
I liked Mass Effect Andromeda. It was not bad. It was just
I mean,
Poorly
you
received.
liked it. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like,
Mass Effect Andromeda is a better game than like a lot of fucking well-received games. I don't know.
maybe it was just the animation that scared people away.
That wasn't even as bad as everybody made it out to be. Honestly, it's just a whole. That's just one of those things, man.
What was everyone mad about then?
I don't know. I mean,
You're
definitely
the only person I've ever heard have this opinion on Andromeda.
That's,
Well, I'm
I
just
just want to
saying,
know because
go
like
play it. Like, it's just not as bad as people remember it or make it out to be.
Is it on Game Pass?
Yes.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was about to say,
There we
because
go.
if it's not, I ain't buying it.
No, it is. They have that EA thing where EA put like all their fucking games on Game Pass, so
No.
it's on there. I personally liked it more than Mass Effect 3, which is, a lot of people didn't like the end of Mass Effect 3, me included, so that's probably why.
Wait, Brent?
Me?
Hello?
Yeah,
No,
it's
who
Brent.
was it?
It's Brent, I think.
I'm out. I'm out of them.
Okay, well, Valve has registered a mysterious new trademark for Neon Prime that may allude to a brand new video game IP from the Half-Life and Portal developer. The name registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office was noticed by Reddit user It's Air ND and appears to be for a video game or at least related software. That means despite Valve's recent success with hardware like the Steam Deck and Index VR headset, this trademark appears to be game related. The Neon Prime trademark registration is intended to cover the categories of computer game software, electronic game software, video game software, computer game programs downloadable via the internet, the trademark reads. So
I bet it's a VR game.
Yeah, probably so.
Because when Alex came out, they had hinted they hinted that they were working on like 3 other VR projects or something. Like
Neon Prime sounds VR.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't sound like a normal like just flat screen
what
game.
If we get like a cyberpunk VR game?
Bruh, I'd be cool. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the first like really good open world
in
VR
game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm really craving is a open world fuck about game.
My problem is like, okay, I want an open world game that's made from the ground up for VR.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of open world games like Skyrim and stuff are fun and all, but they're not made for VR. So there's like elements of the game that are just tedious for no reason, and like there's things
sword fighting in Skyrim.
Yeah, it's just not like I want like blade and sorcery mechanics and shit, and like the ability to put stuff all over me like Bone Labs and like there's a lot of features from Bone Labs that I just feel like should be in every VR game. Like, I love the collision with everything. I like being able to, like, flip a fucking table over and just shoot behind it, you know? I like to, like, hide behind lockers and, like, pick people up and throw them. I just, like, being able to, like, touch and feel everything or, like, not grip your hand but, like, knock a cup over like that or something is just super next level feeling. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's weird how much it helps
We'll get it soon, I feel like. It's not far off.
Yeah.
That's what made Half-Life Alyx so great.
Okay. Sony has announced that its once PlayStation exclusive Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales is coming to PC on November 18th. Great. Revealed in a PlayStation blog post, Miles Morales on PC will support
DLSS 3.
DLSS 3 technology to ensure the highest of frame rates. But DLSS 2, DLAA, and NVIDIA Reflex will also be supported. So that's coming.
That's cool. For those of you out there who played the original Spider-Man game on PC recently and then are looking forward to Miles Morales, just be aware that Miles Morales is a much shorter game.
Yeah, it's not a full, like...
It's not. It feels like a DLC,
experience.
honestly. Yeah. It's like a 6-hour game versus like a 20-hour game on the normal Spider-Man game. You know what I mean?
But it's the same price. No,
for real, though.
So this one's not really news, but I've been really excited about this game for a while. But Choo Choo Charles got a release date for December 9th.
Oh, wow. That's right around the bend. Right around the train tracks.
And they put out a new trailer for it, and it looks dope.
Oh, dope. Yeah. It was looking good whenever you showed it to me that one time back in the day. So it's probably really...
It's coming along.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, it's
chugging along.
A monster Thomas the Tank Engine chasing you while you're...
No, it's like a spider train. Like the train has like this like devil like spider, like it like crawls around, and it's funny because they've added like NPCs and stuff, and like there's like guys like, it's Charles, oh my god, I don't want to die. Like you're like hopping on the train and like turn around like shooting, you see it just like just like picking people up, and like it's so weird just watching it. But
does it have you on the turret the whole time? Is it just a shooter? Or is
so like you hop off, it's like a big open world, like you go to different areas, you got to pick up stuff, and there's like
you're like riding a train between these like
areas. And you can hop off at like any point.
Like if I was getting chased by a train, probably wouldn't be using a train to get around.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is like Call of Duty Zombies, where you're on the bus and you like get off the bus and you like do stuff and then you get back on the bus and it's kind of that vibe, you know.
Mm-hmm. You deck out your train more and more, like it's like RPG level where like you can add armor, swap out weapons and stuff like that on the train, and then like it was showing like you go to like these mission areas where like they're like, oh well, you need to get some explosives, or like, oh, you can add a missile launcher to your train or whatever if you go and grab these parts and all this stuff. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so that's exciting. But so let's look at this week's hot releases. There's actually some decent games coming out this week for the first time in a long time. We got A Plague Tale Requiem coming out tomorrow or tonight at midnight, I believe.
I'm hyped. I got that downloaded, ready to go.
Faux show. We got the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection coming to PC. So
Uncharted 4 is really awesome. Like it's a great game and the graphics are really good. If you haven't had a PlayStation in your life or a chance to try Uncharted 4, you don't really need any prior knowledge of Uncharted to play it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Great adventure game.
And that'll be a good one on PC. I bet
It's
look
gonna
really
look-
nice.
Great movie I hear too.
It's gonna look fucking awesome on PC. Like
So we got Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope coming out to Switch, which apparently
pretty
is
big
really
release.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was actually pretty good too. Like it's weird. It's one of those games that you don't expect to be good, but it's like
It's just XCOM.
really good.
With Mario and Rabbids. And then we got new Tales from the Borderlands coming out this week. The Telltale game, even though it's not the original Telltale team. But then we got Gotham Knights coming out.
New Tales from the Borderlands is coming right this week?
Yeah,
What?
this week.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you can-
I got so much money I got to spend this week. Fuck.
Yep. And then Persona 5 Royale, I think, is coming to PC.
Yeah, that's
this week.
It's coming to Game Pass. So
I
it's
was
coming
say
to-
his game. Yeah.
It's not just coming to PC, it's coming to everything. It's coming to PC, it's
Switch,
coming to
right?
Xbox. I don't know about Switch yet. I think it's definitely coming to Switch. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's coming on that day, but it's coming to PS5 also, which is like up till now
What
there's
the
only
fucking what fucking platform was this game out on?
it was
PS4.
on PS4.
Okay.
So there's a 30 frames per second 4K version that's like PS4 Pro enhanced or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think the new one's going to be 60 frames per second finally, which kind of pisses me off because I just finished playing it.
Also, if a game ever needed more than 30 frames, it's not this game.
No,
It's
no.
not like you're missing out by
No.
playing 30 frames.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Like, I could not tell. And I
No.
can tell with most games. Like,
Yeah, it actually looks really good on the old consoles. But I do think it will look awesome in the modern consoles. It's like a visually appealing game. Like it's really pretty, but Jamel's right. It doesn't have a lot of like fast movement or anything, so it's
No.
like not gonna.
it's just a JRPG.
Yeah.
All right, so Brent, do you want to do the trivia this week?
Yeah.
All right, drop it on us.
All right, get ready.
Okie doke.
Get ready for these. Okay. How many Mario games have been released since the first title in 1983? Now this includes like
Every little offshoot,
every
Game
little,
Boy,
you
everything.
know, fucking Mario Party, Mario Strikers. Okay, before you give a guess, though, we're going to do this Price is Right style. So you get one guess, okay?
Okay.
And it's the closest without going over.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, because that's like, how are we going to guess this?
So if you go over, then you lose. So keep that
Okay.
in mind.
If you go over, you lose. So I'm going to say 29.
Okay.
I was gonna go 36.
Whoo, Devin gets it.
Really? What is it?
It is over. It's just over 200. Yeah.
What?
Including every
What?
offshoot ever, yeah.
Holy shit!
Hold on. Does
What?
every offshoot just mean like Mario appears in the game?
No,
Like,
anything like a Mario
Title?
game, like Mario Party, Mario this, Mario that, anything.
no way there's
200?
200. I'm going to have to go and do my...
I checked several different sources just to make sure this wasn't a weird fucking like.
It's
you
including
know-
some weird shit. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is including a bunch of weird games that you've
Yeah,
never heard
Mario
of. Obviously,
Paint and,
like Where's Mario or
Mario's
Super.
missing.
Yeah, Mario's missing.
200?
It's insane.
I thought for sure not over
Well, you
100.
got think about it. You got like over 10 Mario parties by themselves. You've got
Yeah.
at least 10 to 20
Damn.
mainline Mario games. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you got
I
like,
way undershot that.
it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You got another one?
Yeah, I got a couple more. Sorry.
Okay, okay.
Okay. What company? This is a multiple choice, so I'll give you multiple choices here.
I'll bet.
What company developed Frogger in 1981? Was it Capcom, Konami, Bandai Capcom, or Nintendo? I guess Namco was Capcom back then. I don't know.
Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Well,
I'm going to say Bandai Namco instead of Capcom because I think that was a typo. So is it Capcom, Konami, Bandai Namco, or Nintendo who developed Frogger in 1981?
Frogger would have been
Konami.
Konami, I think. Yeah. Or it could be,
I'll
it's
take that as a no since you didn't say.
If it's not Konami, it's Capcom. I just can't
What do you
remember.
think?
I'm
Devin?
sticking with Konami as my original answer.
All right, yeah, it was Konami.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Because I can half-ass remember seeing an envelope. Did they make several Froggers?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because like one of the later Froggers, I played a bunch for some reason. I can remember seeing the fucking
PC 3D one.
I had the one on
No.
PS1 that was 3D.
It was on PS.
Yeah.
It was either on PS1 or PS2, something like that.
The PS1 Frogger.
It was like
my
one of the first steps
jam,
into
dude.
3D.
Yeah.
Well, could never figure it out.
No, I
It was
think I had
fucking
the
hard.
same one.
It was very hard. I had that one on PC, like the exact one y'all are talking about. But yeah,
There was like
Oh
ice.
yeah,
there was
I
like
remember
an
playing that at your house back in the day, dude.
Mhm.
I think that might actually be the one I'm thinking of this whole time.
yeah, I bought it at fucking Office Depot.
That's awesome. All right, I got one more for you.
All right.
In Japan, what is Mega Man called?
Oh God damn it!
Yeah,
I
I
knew
know
this
this
one.
I can give you
oh.
multiple choices. If you
No,
No.
because as soon as you say it, I'm gonna know it.
Same.
Is
Is it like Metal Man or something like that? It's
That's one of the answers on the multiple choice.
it's like it's something dumb
But
like
it's not
that.
the
though.
right answer.
It's
no, fuck! I saw this a long time ago.
man.
You're really close.
It's
Atomic Boy. No.
No, further away.
No, it's something to do with like metal, or I just can't remember what it was though.
Gosh, you're so close. You're right on the tip of it, dude.
Is it Meta Man? No.
No. It's not metal, but it's
It's,
an element like metal.
Oh,
Alloy Man. Maybe I don't.
Maybe it's not really an element. It's like a. Can I just tell you?
no, don't do it. Hold on. I know what it is. It's is it oh my God. All right, fine.
It's Rockman.
I know. I oh my gosh.
I knew
hate
you
it.
knew it. I know. I saw it at the back of your brain
Has
there.
nothing like what?
It's like metal. It's hard.
No, I think
No,
he
no,
was
I'm
called
saying, like-
Rockman because it was like rock, paper, scissors or some shit. If I remember right, that's why. Because like you would like, because of the way that it worked, like you would go and you would fight one bad guy and he was weak to like a certain type of
One
element.
of them had scissors for hands and shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And like they would be weak to this, and then one would be weak to this. So it was like rock, paper, scissors was like the underlying mechanic
Yeah.
or whatever. But you know, one would be strong against that or whatever. I don't know. Fucking it's forever ago. Remember though, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of GameSpeakPodcast.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, but you can watch it live before anyone else on twitch.tv/GameSpeak every Monday evening at 7:50 p.m. CST. Be sure to join us and the rest of the GameSpeak community at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast.com. Check out our other video content on YouTube, and if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Aljaffer Jamel, Brent at Brent Has One, and Devin at Devondrius. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners.
Later.